We have a jam-packed episode today.
Sorry, that's the worst thing you've ever said.
Well, this is breaking news to me. I haven't heard anything about this.
Quick story time.
I had that freaking near fatal collapse. You didn't.
Welcome to Zeducation University, the world's first tuition-free education program in podcast form. In today's episode, we will be discussing income taxes because it is tax season. We all just got screwed a couple days ago. Zombie fishing, the Artemis moon landing, and much, much more. But first, we are back. Go ahead, do the honors.
Thank you. Deal of the century right here, boys and girls.
Let's
Okay,
see, well-
so I just want to do a promotion for our local holiday. I think it's someone. What is it called? What is the gas station called?
Well, it's
Trip?
Circle K now. But
Circle K. Yeah, Circle K.
do you know the story of the holiday up in between Swan and Brainerd about the guy because he was on the fishing show? So when you'd go up there,
Hold on, I
What are we
can't
doing?
wait. I can't wait.
Okay, we tangented like 8 times. Finish your story, Dave.
okay, well, there River Monsters. He was on River Monsters when Jeremy Wade came up here, and I interviewed him for I believe it was walleyes.
Okay.
It was walleyes or muskies because he got a big chunk of his leg taken off.
What?
And you'd go in there. He was quite a character because you'd give him like $20 or whatever, and
He worked the till?
work the till at night.
Okay.
He'd throw the money behind the back into the till. And
Oh, I've seen that guy. Yep.
Yep, just a character. But he was on River Monsters. Fun fact.
Okay,
River
back to
Monsters.
there's tangent 1, tangent 2. What's the
I don't even know. What I was having a moment, even like while you were telling the story. I was like, "Shut up! I gotta take a sip." I think there's something. Honestly, I think there's something in between the air between the drink and the can. Like when you crack it open, because when you take that first drink, that first sip, like it's like heaven. I don't
Yeah,
know
it's,
what it is. They put like some kind of like crack cocaine inside there or something.
meth? Yeah.
But I gotta go back to the deal of the frickin'
Deal of the
century.
century, and then we'll get back to the intro.
Deal of the century right here is if you buy a Polar Pop, which is like 99 cents up to an
Polar
extra
Pop.
large. Do you know what
Yeah.
that is? Like the fountain drink.
Yeah,
A fountain drink, yeah.
Big gulps, eh?
Yeah, a big gulp. And if you buy one for 99 cents, you can get 2 of these for $1 each.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
That's really good.
How many times a day do you do that?
2 to 3.
Okay.
I've been buying them to stock them up. I've been buying to stock them up. Because if I drive by, I'm like, I'm going to stop and get a Polar Pop.
A polar soda, dude.
A soda.
I'm a broken record. I don't even want to try anymore. How many times have I told you? Going back 10 years now.
This is different.
It's not different.
This is different.
Back to the intro. Welcome back, folks. What do we? This is like 3 weeks since our last show.
Yeah.
It's been a long time. Lots happened.
There was a baby born. There was. Was that your trip, or did you take the trip before the last episode? That was before.
I did take a trip, but I got another trip here coming up right away.
When do you come back from that? Because there's probably not going to be a show next week.
I come back the following week. I'll be back the following
Okay,
week.
so we don't have a show next week. Dave, what's new with Dave? Any big things last couple weeks?
There's
Besides-
no snow on the ground.
No snow on the ground.
No snow on the ground.
There we go. We're starting it off with good news. This is going to be I already can tell it's going to be an insane show by the conversations before the camera started rolling. So welcome back, folks. The biggest news, obviously, the baby came. Baby's doing well. Mom's doing well.
Let's go.
It's pretty good at the house.
It's a good looking baby
It's
too.
pretty chaotic.
Uh,
I'm on toddler duty. Wife is on baby duty, so it's like, we're double teaming the kids. It's definitely different having 3, but
oh my god,
it's okay. Welcome back, folks.
dude! I got yelled at for saying mulatto. You can't say mulatto. I didn't even know you can say that.
Who
Like,
knows?
that's
I don't even know what you can say.
You can say
We're
whatever.
gonna-
You can say whatever you want. Go ahead. Sorry.
The show, I did, like I said, guys, the show is gonna be nuts. Something's wrong with you right now.
All right. Go ahead.
What was I saying? I wanted to get to that.
Yeah.
What you can and can't say, but versus like what is real and what's not real in today's show.
Yeah.
Because I feel like you guys said it before the show started. We're going to get to the Artemis 2 landing. And there was something that Obama said like 10 years ago as far as like taking down a country, right? And it feels like we are, as far as making people so confused that they don't know what's real, who they can trust. We're way past that point, and it feels palpable to a concerning degree now online.
Wait, is this like
So-
the Mandela effect? Like what Obama said?
No,
Or is this
I
real?
think he just predicted it. Either he was foreshadowing what was to come from his side, because this is completely pushed by, in my opinion,
You know what?
left-wing
Remember that movie
censors
he made? Remember the movie he made?
Yes, we're going to get to that.
Okay.
We're going to get to that because that is very relevant, and that is terrifying because a lot of the stuff, that's what's coming in today's show, folks. But we have a lot more to talk about, starting with, first, if you're on YouTube, head over to the podcasting app, and if you're on your podcasting app, head over to the YouTube channel. There are 2 YouTube channels, Zeducation University Clips and Zeducation University. So check out those channels. You don't have time to listen to the whole show, check out the Clips channel. We'll post all the clips from the show. As far as streaming goes, all of you members, this episode will probably come out after we stream, but I plan on streaming on Fridays again. So stay tuned for that. Be around 9 o'clock. So if you are a member on Zeducation, check that out. Anyways, let's get into today's rapid fire headlines before we get into our statistics class, first period. So grab your pens and papers as you're sipping your coffee here. Let's get to our rapid fire headlines. Only got a couple. So since our last show, which again, I think was it 3 weeks ago or 2 weeks ago? I think it was 3 weeks ago.
I think it was 3, yeah.
Yeah, 3 weeks ago. So almost a month. That's crazy. But Rory McIlroy, he won the Masters. Did you guys watch the Masters? Did you care?
Just the very end. I watched like the last probably 5 holes.
It was pretty good. I think he birdied like the last 6 or
He was
7 or
dialed
something.
in. Yeah, it was over.
Which is good because he historically melts down.
Right.
So that was a big deal. He back-to-back champion. I think the 4th back-to-back champion. I can't remember. So there's pretty historic. The Iran stuff. We're not going to talk a lot about that today, but that is still going on. This is what we kind of just mentioned earlier on the show. I don't know what to believe. I don't know. Trump has said now probably 5 different times in the last 2 weeks that the Iran war is over, but it wasn't actually a war, he said before, but then he said the war is over, so wait, it was a war? I don't know what to believe, and I don't know, and it's definitely not over.
It's real close.
Yeah, it's real close. No. He said yesterday, it's over. He said the Iran war is over. Yes, he did.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
No.
Yes, he did.
Again,
for the 5th time. So I don't know. I don't know if he.
You know what?
You
know what? I just heard someone say this the other day, and I thought it was kind of interesting. And I don't know if he uses this as psychology, but you aren't something. You have to pretend you're something before you are, right? And
the law of attraction.
And what they used is like when you go to sleep at night, you have to pretend like you're asleep before you fall asleep. We all do that, right? And it's like, does he do that? Is he doing that? Because a lot of times he says things and you're like, oh, that ain't true. But then it seems like it does become true a lot of times. Yeah, no,
I still am rooting for him. I still want him to do well, but this is such a roller coaster. The stock market, the oil prices go up to 110 one day, then, the war's over, it goes back down to 88.
the manipulation, dude.
It's insane.
Well, there's another question,
and there's
right?
another question.
Yeah, there's another question.
How many
right
people are profiting off of this on these swings?
Right.
Look at this is a treat because Trump does like to say, he's the only president that lost money. They say his net worth is now $6.5 billion after this because he extracted, and this is on chain, of $1.5 billion from the crypto markets through World Liberty Fi, his meme coin. Everything that has came with that was a complete and if you've been in the meme coin crypto world of gambling, you know this, but the World Liberty Fi is wild. I don't know if you've kept up with that, but
I have a little bit. It's very unfortunate. It's just a bad look for the crypto world in general.
It is.
I've never even heard of it.
So
you have. Remember they were selling
pre-sale.
We didn't do it, but you could buy for like 5 cents a coin or something. It was very, very low.
Yep.
Was it like the Melania coins, or was it?
No.
Those were meme coins.
Those were
meme
coins.
Okay.
Those were pump and dumps, get rich quick schemes
For them,
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think Trump. What is it? Like a penny a coin right now? What is it?
It's a couple bucks. But
it was up to what was it up to? What did the Trump coin get up to on the day that it was
80?
pitched?
Dude,
Yeah,
it was
very
wild.
High. And Melania coin is way down.
Yep. And the biggest thing is so like when you program these coins, you can do like real projects have like an open-ended network where they can kind of change it as things go. And that's the part of like they call it a DAO where the governance, we all get to vote on the change. And if it doesn't vote, the code doesn't allow that change to happen. But with World Liberty Fi, they own like 51, 52%. So they own.
So they can make all the changes they want.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then So they extracted all this money, and if you bought World Liberty Fi, all of your money is locked in there, and you can't take it out. You're just stuck with it in there. So now what they did to make it right is to null and void all this extraction out of World Liberty Fi. But to do that, all these people have to vote yes. If they vote no, their money is still locked indefinitely. But the kicker is, if they vote yes, then it null and voids that money extraction, and they can take their money out. But the World Liberty Fi team, the Trumps own majority of the shares. So they get to essentially write themselves a pardon by saying, yes, we allow this to be null and void, all the money extraction.
Right, because they have 51%.
Yeah. Dude, it's wild.
It's a mess. It's a mess. And it's disappointing because I'm a huge believer in blockchain and just the possibilities
because you can
of
track
blockchain.
that money.
Right. Well, there's a lot of benefits to it, but the fact that you could start a bank account with a wallet right here, right now. You don't have to go to a bank. You don't have to get permission.
Yeah.
You can do it without any ID. You can start a wallet. You can have a bank account from your phone right now. But, things like that, breakthrough technology is just, it makes it all look bad. It makes the whole crypto industry look bad. So, anyways, last one, and this is probably one of the last times we'll talk about Trump today. Again, I still want Trump to do good. I do. I'm rooting for him. I am. I'm disappointed. But it was viral like 2 days ago or yesterday that he depicted himself as Jesus. Did you guys see that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of people were pissed. And I was pissed. I was like, what are you doing, dude? That is idiotic.
Yeah.
What are you doing? And then, I think the part that was disappointing to me was a lot of conservatives called him out for it. But there were a lot of people that were like, the no matter what he does, loyalists, I will support him no matter what. Defending like, oh, he just does stupid stuff. Okay, come on. How many times do we gotta use that excuse? Like,
You don't get his humor, man.
no, well, that's but that's what I mean. That's that's the response. Like, okay, you people some of you are just as bad as the far left.
I don't know.
Just
I
as
enjoy
bad.
it. I enjoy it. I enjoy the fact it's kind of like that Jesse Ventura effect that we had when Jesse Ventura wasn't here. He would always say crazy shit, and then people would be like, ah. But you know what is great about him is that we didn't have with Biden is the media is all over his ass, and there's I feel like there's a lot more transparency because of that. Which we don't get when the media is covering up for elected officials. Where I feel like there's
Just like in Minnesota, like Minnesota media,
where there's a lot more corruptions happening.
Oh, it's terrible.
When so they hold him more accountable. That piece of it I kind of like, right? Like it's like, and remember, people, we had two choices basically. We had her or him.
The lesser of two
and
evils.
which one, and still to this day, who would you vote for? I know who I would vote for.
I'm with you.
I know.
But at the
who I'd
same
vote
time,
for.
dude, and I get that.
Right.
I've heard the argument 1,000 times. The lesser of two evils. I get it. Of course, I would have voted for Trump again. I wouldn't have voted. There's not a chance in hell. I was telling this to Dave. Like, for Minnesota, for example, do you want bathhouses? Do you want free needles? Do you want all this like social degeneracy, like corrupting our young kids, right? Or do you want just a crazy guy, that can get stuff done? We don't know what's really getting done,
right.
but at the same time, dude, like it makes. I think the part that I said last time was he demands loyalty to a fault. No matter what he does, you should be loyal to me. If not, I disown you.
Yep.
And we've seen that with multiple people that he's very
You're dead
close
to me.
to.
Yeah,
you're dead to me
Yep.
because you called me out for depicting myself as Jesus.
Right.
You're dead to me. Literally, he said this. You're dead to me if you care about the Epstein files. You're not a voter of mine. You're not a supporter of mine. He said that.
Right.
That's where he lost me big time. It was like, dude, this was a big campaign thing, and you're just now you're dead. We're dead to you. We're not your supporters. Okay. So he demands undoubted loyalty, but where's the loyalty to us? Like, there's got to be some like two-sided to the coin. We put him in power, right? So where's the loyalty there? You can't have blind loyalty, like a one-sided blind loyalty.
Well, you see this, and there's some weird swampy decisions to be made. Even right now, I just read an article this morning where this tower now, this Trump,
the arch,
that's being built. It's like, man, like what are we doing? That's swampy. It's like we don't need any more of this stuff. It's like it's like a
monument,
trumpeteer arch or something. I don't know what it's called, but
yeah, it's his personal monument.
It's a monument for his presidency, but it's going to be like this gigantic marble arch with like a gold eagle on the top, blah blah blah, and it's going to end up being graffiti, and bums sleeping on the bottom of it, kind of thing, and we're going to spend freaking probably $1 billion on this thing on taxpayers' money.
Yep.
It's like I don't want this. I don't want this anymore. Like stop with the spending. Like
So-
that's very swampy.
We're going to get to the taxes because we're going to do a whole period on taxes today, a couple periods because it was tax week. But before I forget, I'll probably bring it up again. I listened to the Joe Rogan episode with, is it Spencer Pratt?
Yeah, it just dropped last night.
Did you watch it?
I
listened to it?
haven't seen the whole thing, but I was watching it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. It felt like,
Dude,
he tapped into that Trump energy that in 2016 where Trump was drain the swamp, like, and we're all like, hell yeah, this is it. This is what we want.
My wife is like ready to divorce me and like go after Spencer Pratt.
Dude,
like she talks
that guy,
about him all
honestly,
the time. She's like Spencer Pratt. Pratt.
This is where it's like, and we should talk about this later because we got to move on here. But it's kind of like, because we always talk about moving from the state, right?
Yeah.
But this guy is putting his money where his mouth is.
Right.
His house burned down in the Palisades fire, and he's like, "No, I see the corruption. Screw you guys. I'm going to fight for my home.
I'm going to take your job.
I'm going to take it over.
I'm taking
and
your
I'm
office.
Gonna fix this stuff." And he lays out his plans on the Joe Rogan episode. It's like, okay, let him do it. Vote him in there. Let him do it. If it works, let's do it everywhere.
Right.
You know, so it's like, I highly encourage everyone to listen to that episode because, you know, I hope if you live anywhere near that or know people in LA, you guys have to vote that guy in. He has to be the mayor. It's the only hope. It's the only hope for that city.
Dude, what's crazy is his wife's like super famous in Japan or something like that.
In Japan?
Yeah, she's a singer. She's like a famous singer in Japan.
K-popper.
What?
His wife? I don't know. I don't know her name.
No.
Like,
I thought they got famous on reality TV.
they
Laguna
did.
Beach. Yeah.
They did, but she's now a singer.
Oh, really?
Yes, like over
That's
in
incredible.
Asia.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on here. All right, so there you go. Welcome to the show, folks. We got a lot more to talk about. A lot more fun stuff. You know, switching gears here from politics to some fun facts. First period statistics class. This is a good one here. Number one, on average, a person farts around 14 times a day.
Nice.
Would you say you're above or below that?
Never counted.
Boy, I don't know. I mean, like, I think about sleeping in that too. I would say that's got to be right.
Probably.
Sounds right.
They're pretty accurate.
Yeah.
Kids would probably have a better idea for you.
It just happens now.
Yeah.
It's just part of the
Oh, it's
conversation.
involuntary, yeah. Getting older. Number two, since the invention of the automobile, cars have killed an estimated 60 to 80 million people and injured over 2 billion. And I think that is proof that we need to ban them.
That number seems low.
If they didn't exist, we wouldn't have any car accidents. No people getting hurt by cars.
Does that number seem kind of low?
60 to 80 million people?
I mean,
Well,
over the last 120 years?
20 years, yeah. It seems pretty low. I mean, if you, over 100 years, 2 billion people, that's what, 20 million a year? 20 million a year that gets injured. If I'm doing my math right there. And then 60 to 80 million people dead over 100 years. I mean, that's a lot of people. 600
That's a
to
lot of
800,000 people a
That
year.
is a lot of people.
One of the best clips is when they
Did I do that right? 60, 80?
I
Sorry, go
think
ahead.
it's over in Washington. Wherever they do the interview, they're going to ban drinking and driving. And he's like, "Man, you're telling me I can't drive home and crack a cold one after a long day of hard work? Next thing, they're going to make you wear your seatbelt." And it was back in like the late 60s, early 70s. I mean,
There was a guy.
It's taking our freedoms. I seen that.
I just saw an interview that they had televised in like 1926 or something like that of a guy that was a Civil War veteran that had actually met Abraham Lincoln, and they interviewed him on a camera, and he was like, they're like, what's your secret? He's like, I drank. He was like, a highball twice a day. I have tea, coffee, and they're like, well, how much water do you drink? He's like, you see what that stuff does to pipes? He's like, imagine what it does to your body. I was like, dude, who is this guy? Who is this guy? He was like 100 years old too. You know, I'm like, yes. I was like, I'm going the distance, boys and girls.
There is an element of luck, I feel like. I think there's an element of luck where, because you see some people that, I remember a guy, he would walk in at the VA clinic, right? He was a veteran, and or at where I worked, saw a bunch of veterans, but he's supposed to be quitting smoking, right? He's got the oxygen tank, and he walks in there smelling like a chimney. And he's like in his 80s, and he's still kicking, but you still smoking? No, sir. Dude, I smell it on you. I smell it on you.
You can see like the
lying bastard.
nicotine in his fingers.
Yeah.
Like,
But he's still, like, he made it into pretty old age.
yeah.
Living horribly. Smoking pack a day for years.
You guys might not remember this guy, but his name was George Burns. He was an actor. an old actor back in the days, and he smokes. He was old. I mean, he must have been in his 90s, but he smoked cigars like crazy, just puff, puff. And back in the 80s, like when everybody was smoking, it was like, see, George Burns made it. We can make it too. Like he was our freaking like our monument of you can smoke. It's okay.
He was our guiding light.
It's healthy.
Yeah.
That's the secret. That's the secret.
Regular smoking probably better than that vaping stuff.
Yeah, get the popcorn lung.
I would agree with you. You know, I just had this conversation with the guy that's inventing a filter to take out CO2 out of marijuana, like actual marijuana, so that you're not taking that CO2 in, and only the resin. And but I was like, man, you know, I would think that would be probably not bad for tobacco too.
Yeah.
You know, instead of all the chemicals, like I mean, I'm surprised that's not a natural thing, like a natural tobacco, that organic tobacco. Is that a thing? I don't know enough about it, but
I don't know.
Couldn't tell you. Couldn't tell you.
Yeah, I don't know either. It's not my thing.
Here's a depressing one. Number 3, the average 4-year-old laughs 300 times a day. The average 40-year-old laughs just 4 times a day.
That's not true for us. That's not true
Dude,
for
that,
us.
that definitely is not true for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a coping mechanism.
It is a coping mechanism. Where you live, Minnesota?
You don't even know what a bad day is.
I'm going to show you what it looks like, boy. You don't even know what a bad day is. At any given time, 0.7% of the world's population is drunk, meaning at least 50 million people are drunk right now.
Wait, what? Point what?
0.7%. So almost 1% of the world's population is drunk at any given moment.
That's crazy.
So 50 million out of, are we at 9 billion people yet? Let's see,
skewed.
world population. I keep seeing them say that, so 8.3 billion
Yeah, like
allegedly
China.
right now.
Yeah.
But I keep seeing them say like it's really something hard, that's something that's harder to measure than they realize. Like China, we talked about this before, is not, they think that their population isn't even close to what they say it is, just based off of basic math.
Well,
I've been hearing people saying it's closer to the United States population.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Because if there was, I think they said 500 million people or 300 million people, we'll say, back in the 60s and 70s, whenever the
Right.
one-child policy was enacted, if each family was only having one child, then how would that triple the population in one generation? It wouldn't.
Yeah.
So mathematically, that was impossible.
It would subtract it.
Right, right. So,
well, even India, like we live in a time, a lot of those countries over there, it's not here where your child is born, there's a birth certificate, there's a paper trail on the child on the first breath. Over there, dude, they just kind of pop out. I mean, there ain't no documentation. I mean, even to get the documentation is super, super hard, and it's a rare thing. Like you're in the high upper class if you have that documentation.
Africa too.
Dude, I just had a aha moment. Is the cost of goods right now, how everything's so expensive, population control? Because we don't want to have more kids because it's so expensive to have kids.
I think only here. Because if you go to a
in
third
Western
world,
countries, yeah.
you go to a third world country, I mean, if the world goes to just hell in a handbasket, I want to be there. Because those people, you know, they struggle they know what struggling is. I want to be around people that understand what struggling is. I don't want to be around people that don't understand what it's like to be hungry for 2 or 3 days. They don't know.
Right.
So that's just my thought on that. I want to be around.
Oh, we're cooked.
No,
Yeah.
I don't think that's purposeful. I think it's just like population control. I think it's just the system that we have, especially in our culture too. Our like super sick culture where having a career is more important than having a family. I mean, that's been like that and preached to young adults, specifically young women, since the 70s. You have to have a family. You can do it all, which is totally not true. You cannot have a career and raise a family. You just can't do it.
And by the way, I don't think that's population control. If you know me, a lot of times I'll spit thoughts out of my head. I do. I'll spit thoughts out of my head. Doesn't necessarily mean I believe it, but I'll throw it out there because it's thought provoking, right?
He does that. Okay, here's a great one. This is a great one to end the first period. Dude, this is wild. Going to baseball. Barry Bonds. He walked a ton of times. I don't even know. He's got the record for most walks. When you convert that into miles, Barry Bonds walked 43.6 miles in his career.
Gosh, that's amazing. That's an amazing stat.
90 feet to first base.
That's an amazing stat. I love that stat.
That's insane, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
43 miles of walking.
43.6 miles. Couldn't believe it.
Imagine even if some of those take half and the amount of home runs that got taken away from the guy. I mean, dude, he could have probably.
From being intentionally walking?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was games he was intentionally walked the game.
Yep.
I think he was intentionally walked with the bases loaded before. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure he was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that was
crazy.
insane.
Steroids are
I'll
not-
never forget his 500th and 600th and 700th home runs. I think it was all at my buddy's house. Every one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a career. Put him in the hall, man. Put him. I don't care if he was using.
I saw Mark
seriously.
McGuire's 500th home run in person. I drove down to St. Louis the night. So the night that he hit 499, was it 498? 499. He hit 499. I said, if he hits 499, I'm going. You know, I'm sitting down and I was in the basement of my parents' in-laws' house, and he hit it. I was like, honey, I'm going. And she was like, okay. I literally got in the car right then and there, and drove to St. Louis.
And he hit it the next night.
And that night he hit 2 that next night. Yeah, but that night he also was supposed to, Tony Gwynn was going for his 3,000th hit also.
Oh, nice.
So I was standing outside like a freaking 12-year-old waiting for autographs, and Tony Gwynn walked up and he's like, "I'll sign after the game." I literally had it in front of him. You know, I had his number so I would sew it on a jersey, but I asked him to sign the number. So, then I would sew it on the jersey, but he was like, he wouldn't sign. Then I saw Mark McGuire in person, like me and you standing right there, and he was signing for kids. I didn't ask him for his autograph because there's a bunch of little kids there at that point.
Yeah, you don't want to be one of them.
Yeah. But he was, it was years ago too. I was like 20, but whatever that was. But his leg, dude, was like, it was so big in person, and his arms were like the size of my thighs. He was a monster.
Don't you have a story about is it Ken Griffey or Randy Johnson in the elevator when you were a kid?
Yes, yeah. So I was a big autograph hound. I lived in Minneapolis. I lived real close to the Metrodome, and I would go down to the Metrodome every single day when I was a kid and get autographs. I can tell you about everybody. And what we would do is we would go down to the hotels and before they would even leave to the dome and try to catch them there, because they would roam around in the morning. They would go get coffee, or they would get breakfast or whatever they were doing out there. But they would roam around the outside of the hotels in the morning, and we would capture autographs there. Well, I learned that to go up into the Hyatt, which in Minneapolis was the second story in the lobby, I would sit there on a chair and I would just act like I was supposed to be there, and I'd watch guys come down into the elevator, and then when they got in the elevator, I would trap them. Well, one day,
That's genius.
In the elevator.
A 12-year-old just like, yeah, how do I get Randy Johnson?
so I got Randy Johnson and Ken Griffey Jr. in the elevator at the exact same time, and I'm like, I have this book of cards, so you take like how you do pictures, photos,
Yeah.
like how they have the little corners. So I'd put I'd have like this index card thing that I could flip over, and I'd have everybody's card there, and then I'd put the baseball card inside these corners so that would stick. And I'm like, oh my God, I got to ask one for the autograph right now, and I'm looking, I'm like, it's Randy Johnson or Ken Griffey. Well, dude, you got to go for Ken Griffey.
Yeah, of course.
So I went for Ken Griffey, and I was like, can I get your autograph? And he's like, I don't sign in the hotel. So this was right when we got in the autograph, or right when we got in the elevator, and it was a slow ride down, like super awkward and quiet. I'm just sitting there.
You're sitting there with Ken Griffey Jr. and Randy Johnson.
and he wouldn't sign, and I'm just kind
I
of like,
actually think that was a right decision by him, honestly.
probably,
Yeah.
because I infiltrated where I shouldn't have been.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I kind of got in his space.
Yep.
And when he was like, I'll sign when I get outside. I was like, all right. So I followed him right outside. When I got outside, every freaking autographed hound was outside. Like it was just piled out there of autograph people, and didn't even get his autograph. Never got his autograph. Yeah.
Well, you know what? You tried.
I
It's a
tried.
good story. You infiltrated.
Yeah.
You still got to go on the elevator with Randy Johnson and Ken Griffey Jr. That's pretty badass.
That is pretty. I got to share with you. I did on that old guy thing. There was an old guy that would be out there every day for autographs, and Kirby Puckett came in, and he would be like, he's like, damn it. His name was Ken. The guy's name was Ken. He's like, damn it, Ken. He's like, what are you doing with all these autographs? Are you reselling these? Ken Griffey yelled at him, right? Well,
Oh,
anyways,
Kirby Puckett.
Kirby
Puckett,
Puckett, yelled at this Ken guy that was getting autographs down there. And one day, the kids were like pushing to get Kirby's autograph. Ken had a black Sharpie for an autograph, and Kirby had this brown leather jacket, and Ken's like across his jacket. Kirby Puckett's jacket. It was a Sharpie. And he looked down, Kirby Puckett did, and he was so pissed. You could see he was just fuming, right?
Yeah.
And he just turned around and walked away. He didn't say anything. He kept his cool. He just walked away. But I mean, like, he had this really nice leather jacket.
Ken.
I'm like, yeah.
So he didn't sign any more autographs. Ken ruined it.
Ken ruined that day. Yep.
You see those guys though, it's like, because for the kids, it's like, dude, go for it. Like, let the
Yeah.
kids go up there. But you see these dudes that I mean, they're coming with a little freaking suitcase full
Yeah.
of stuff.
Yep.
They got all this stuff, and it's like, dude, they're pushing the kids to get in front. It's like, dude, you're the problem here, man.
Yeah. You know who was the best though was Kent Herbeck. You remember? Yeah, you know he's a local first
Yeah.
baseman for
Yeah.
the World Series. He's the guy that pulled the guy's leg off when remember
Yep,
on the
yep.
first base.
I
What
still
he's
can't
pretty
believe that was
famous
an
for.
out.
That was crazy.
I know.
But he if you wanted his autograph, you had to go. He parked his personal car in the back of the dome, and he would take a golf cart with the golf, like one of the workers would pick him up in a golf cart, drive him around to the ticket office to bring him inside. Right? You had to meet him at the golf cart and run around the dome following the golf cart in
You
order
want
to
an
get his
autograph?
autograph. Yep, and he would only sign the kids that would run around the
Oh, that's awesome.
the golf cart. Yeah,
Nice. Make
yep,
them work
around the
for it.
dome. Yep,
Nice.
yep. That's the only way you could get his
I
autograph.
love that. The guys with the suitcases can't follow.
Yeah, those
Hell yeah.
bastards,
Hell
dude.
yeah.
Yeah,
I love those stories. Got a couple. Yeah,
we had a bunch more of those, but
Yeah. Well, they'll come out as the show goes on. But we got to move on here. We got to move on to second period meme studies class. So we got memes today. Laughy Lou's version of the podcast. A lot of tax memes since it's tax season. And then third period, we're doing tax class because you're not learning much about taxes in your elementary schools, your middle schools, your high schools, publicly funded. You don't learn much about taxes there. So we're going to teach you about taxes here on Zeducation University today. But first, let's get to our tax memes. Dave, I can't read that one. You go ahead.
All right, math.
Oh,
Right?
that wasn't supposed to be in here, but
Okay.
we'll do that one anyways. No, do it. That's
Okay.
a good one. Go back.
All right, math. Racist. Climate change. Racist. USA. Racist. Man with 14 priors slashing a girl's neck, yelling, "Got that white girl." Not,
Not
racist.
Isn't that crazy that story's
is.
not bigger?
did you see? It is crazy. And did you see that they took her damn? Someone was doing a mural and they made him cover it up.
What?
Yeah.
Did you see that? Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, someone paid for a mural and like he was painting like in the middle of it being almost done. Like they're like, nope, take it down.
Wow.
It's like
Wow.
what? A lady was murdered.
See,
And
literally in cold blood, he said that. He said, "I got that white girl." It was clearly racially motivated, and I think he just got off with an insanity plea.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he did, and I think that's why I saw that meme and it went viral. I didn't mean for it to be in here, but it's in here. We'll talk about it. I think people are starting to get sick and tired of that stuff.
Yeah.
There's it's palpable online. People are not
It is.
afraid to talk about it anymore, and it's good because I think people are sick of it. So, and it's very sad though because that girl was a Ukrainian refugee. She was minding her own business, going to work, thought she was safe on the train. And the more disgusting thing was, if you guys don't know what we're talking about, I can't remember her name, but she was murdered in North Carolina. I think it was Raleigh, right? One of the Carolinas on the subway. This was what, January, I think, maybe December. I mean, if you missed that story, I don't know where you were, but yeah, you literally, you're not supposed to talk about it. You're like, this was a racially motivated attack against a Ukrainian refugee. Everyone that was there, that was the most disgusting part. They just sat there.
Yeah.
Some people whipped out their phones and watched her die. Absolutely disgusting, but very representative of the culture we're living in right now.
I guess.
And again, I think people are pushing back on it. People are pissed. People are sick of it.
Well, it's been wild too. I'm pretty bad online too. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like I say all kinds of crazy comments just because I like getting rises out of people. But I got suspended on Twitter.
You did?
Yes, yeah, because someone's like the black astronaut that had gone and you're like, look at what a black man can do and a white guy, and there's no way a white pilot could do this, and I was like, what the hell? I was like, what kind of statement is that?
Yeah.
So I went in there and someone wrote in there, they said, just think the things that George Floyd would do if he was still alive. So then I made a meme. And I made a meme of George Floyd in an astronaut suit.
Oh, that got you banned?
Yes, I made a meme of George Floyd in an astronaut suit, and it said basically he would complain because he can't breathe in outer space, and it got me banned.
I will say
I got
didn't,
suspended.
I didn't think that was that funny,
Yeah.
but I do think it's funny in that, and I think those memes are funny because it's mocking the propaganda that we were
Right.
force fed, right?
Yeah,
It's like, dude, this guy wasn't going to be an astronaut. He was a drug addict. He was a
Right.
bad guy. He was.
yeah,
Should he have died? Probably not, but he probably overdosed. That's like, you look at the toxicology report. That's what people are sick of. People are
Right.
sick of being force fed the propaganda like that. So I'm very surprised you got banned for that.
Suspended, not banned.
Okay.
Suspended. I got suspended. Yeah.
Anyways, let's get back to the taxes. 1775, 2% tax. 2024, 40% tax. Yeah, no, this is a good one. A very, what do we call it?
40%. That's on the low end.
The bread and circus, right, Dave?
Yeah, it really is.
The bread and circus, dude. And this is my question, and I should probably just save this question for the end of tax class, but at what point do we throw the tea into the harbor? At what point is enough enough?
Can't now.
That's where I think we are. I think we're past the point of no return.
Yeah.
I think people are so pacified. They're so just, they don't care.
You will have nothing and you will be happy.
It's happening.
Yep.
It's happening.
I think the last time we did anything to a politician was like 1860s. It was before the Civil War. But that is where the whole government shifted into the downturn that we are today. Is like there is no one on watch. And the politicians back in the day I don't even think they really got paid. They pretty much had their own money, especially in the original days of the colonization of the United States breaking away from Great Britain. Like that was their own money. They lost everything. And now, though, the goal to become a politician is to get rich. It's the complete opposite of what it used to be.
Well, I think I heard this on Sean Ryan, and I think he had someone on there with like an expert in the Roman Empire. It was a really interesting podcast. But during the fall of the Roman Empire, according to this guy, it wasn't about your duty to your country anymore. It was about your duty to yourself. What kind of benefits, what kind of things can I get out of my service? Not what kind of service can I provide my fellow citizens, my country? And we are way past that. People don't serve. I even look at myself. I didn't serve. I served to serve the country, but I also served because I was poor shit and I didn't have money for college, right? So, I mean, and I'm just being honest. Like, there was some self-motivation there, right? I'm proud of serving my country, and it kind of turned into that. But my initial motivation for serving the country wasn't just out of my patriotic duty.
Right.
And we are way beyond that. People who serve in Congress, serve in Congress, it's all about, insider trading now. I mean, some of the things that they vote on, you have to be like, okay, what's going on behind the scenes there? Like they just voted to extend the Haitian refugees for like 3 years. Like, wait a minute, hold on. Like, people voted against this a long time ago. And you got, like, Republicans are now voting with this too. What's going on here?
Yep.
What forced you and what caused you to vote for this? What kind of backdoor deals are you getting?
The greatest depiction of this was when Minnesota passed the the recreational marijuana. Is every Republican they voted for it, but was taken off guard. Like, whoa, we didn't know that was in there. But it's like because you got what you wanted in the bill. That's why you voted yes. You didn't vote yes or no on what the whole bill was. Is that you got your kitty out of it. You fed your little niche of group. So you voted yes. And then that person, their little niche was to get the recreational marijuana. And then it passed and every Republican was like, well, we didn't know that was in there. So we got to redo it.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. We just got done talking about car accidents and people being drunk all the time. Right. And I think those two have something, they're somewhat related. There's a lot of people that die from drinking and driving.
Yep.
And there's a lot of families that die or that have deaths in their families and blah, blah, blah from alcohol. From fighting, families getting destroyed from fighting and alcohol. If anything was going to be illegal, it would be alcohol versus guns, right? But weirdly, everyone always goes after guns. And I think there's a couple reasons why they do. But it does show where we get to a position where it's like, what can we do to take back our power at some point? And that's how we took power into our hands, is we protected ourselves from a government that wanted to to control us. And we didn't want that, right? And it's interesting that they want to keep going after guns for how many people that die from guns each year, but there's no talk about taking alcohol away from us.
Right. It's
none.
It's exactly because
it's not about deaths.
No, not at all. No, it's about power.
It's about power.
It's about power. It's about taking that last stitch of power from citizens, 1,000%. Because that's what it was there for. That's what the Second Amendment's there for, to protect from tyrannical governments. And we are past that.
Oh, yeah.
We're way past that. But here's the problem, though. And let's keep going, because this conversation is going to keep going, and there's a million points to be made. But so let's go to our next tax meme here. Where's our money, tampon boy? That's I don't know where that is, but obviously that is in Minnesota somewhere. So next one.
Tampon Tim.
Tampon Tim. Where's our money, tampon boy? Go ahead, Dave.
Blue states to taxpayers. Gone. Why is everyone moving to Florida?
Yeah. And you see this now with New York. You see it with California. You see it like a lot of these. I just heard of a friend of ours, the company she works for, her company is now moving from Minnesota to Texas. And then you see that another guy I know, his company moved from New York City down to Dallas. So it's like all these companies, because they work for profit, it makes no sense for them to stay in these blue states and get taxed to no end.
And the best is they're just going to vote another blue person and ruin that state and go, what happened?
Yep. And they're going to blame it on rich people. Right now in Minnesota, they're blaming it on Trump's ICE invasion.
Yeah.
His ICE invasion caused businesses to lose tons of money. No. Your fiscal irresponsibility did that. But the people in Hennepin and Ramsey County are going to eat it up. And it's disgusting. It's not workable.
And dude, because Minnesota, we passed that, what was it? Bereavement pay for, a loved one, a sick one. Right now, I could go in, sign up some paperwork and say that I need 12 weeks. I think it's 12 weeks. And you get paid for that 12 weeks. And the amount of people that took time off for bereavement pay, the line just went straight up during the...
Yep. Well, my wife is going through that right now because she just had a baby. So you get it for having a baby. You get time with the baby and then recovery time.
Yep.
A friend of hers just went through the process too. It is a disaster. Like the wait time to actually get it approved and go through the process is insane. It's a absolute disaster,
dude. Okay, so on this, since we're talking about this, on the meme that I had, the picture that I sent you, see the one with all the writing? Yeah. Look at this. Read that. In New York City, whites function as tax cattle, receiving 3 cents in benefits for every dollar in taxes paid. Each group receives disproportionate benefits. So look at this. They broke this down via demographics. So if you look at it, this is New York City. Yep. So Hispanics receive $1.95 for every dollar they give in taxes from the government. They receive $1.95.
Where is this from?
This is the IRS.
Okay. Sorry, keep going.
Yep. So the sources, the New York City Housing Authority, the Acts, the 2020 census, the IRS 2023, blah blah blah. Anyways, blacks receive $1.77 for every dollar they pay in taxes. Asians receive 22 cents for every dollar they pay in taxes. Whites receive 3 cents for every dollar they pay in taxes.
That's incredible. And I'm not surprised. And this is relevant. What?
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
That's crazy.
And this is relevant because Mamdani, did you see? He is literally trying to do like a equality tax. Did you see that? He used racial lines. He drew racial lines saying, "Oh, white families on average in New York City make $200,000 a year, whereas black families make $20,000 a year, and we need to close that equity or something like that." So he's talking about taxing white people more. He's literally openly saying that. It's not even a secret. It's not a conspiracy. This is happening.
Dude, just give me the 3/5 vote already, for crying out loud. Let's just go there. Let's just rip the Band-Aid off.
That's what you want as a white guy?
Yeah, just do it. Just get it over with.
What is it? What?
The 3/5 vote, because back in this after slavery, black
slaves
people
got 3/5 of a vote.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So Dave thinks the roles are flipping.
Yeah, just rip it off already.
So up here, I was just talking. So Foss's friend works at Cragen's, does like what do you call it, catering, and he said that there was a conference up here from people in Minneapolis that were doing a reparations. They're trying to figure out how to do a reparations bill here in Minnesota.
Really?
They're having it up here, and I was like, damn, dude, that's crazy. Like, here we go, Minnesota, let's go, buckle up.
And then you have the southern states though that they actually had slavery, and they're some of the reddest states you'd ever see.
Dude, it's the biggest, the whole slavery thing.
Okay, let's not get on this.
No, I'm not going. But I do want to say something though.
Go ahead.
On the defense.
No, go ahead. But we're already off the rails.
I went on rabbit hole though. Go ahead. So you know how they were supposed to be? Because I was like, well, I mean, they never got their 40 acres and a mule. That mule thing is a lie. That was never the thing. The 40 acres was, and did you know that they actually got their 40 acres?
Really?
All the slaves did. They got the 40 acres. They put them down in Georgia. And what happened was Andrew Jackson, Democrat, took it all away from them. Little fun fact.
Really?
Yes.
Was he a Democrat?
Yeah, he was a Democrat. Andrew Jackson.
I
Hell
don't
yeah.
know. I don't know.
Creator of the KKK.
Yeah, no, Democrat. Yeah. It's always them Democrats throughout history. It's always, it is. What was I going to say on that? Oh, that's what we should watch. Because I've been watching Matt Walsh. He's been doing these series on YouTube where he, the true history of slavery, the true history of Indians, American Indians.
Yep.
And it's shocking information, and it's all real information from people's journals, books. Like, this is true history.
Right.
It's like, holy crap, we were totally lied to.
I watched them too.
The Trail of Tears.
Yeah.
Complete BS. Complete BS. It's like, how did this happen? And then he kind of walks through the liberalization of college and schools and how this propaganda started. And it's like, oh, how did we let this happen? When do we start pushing back? When does this? Literally, this is a problem. This is a huge problem. It destroyed the minds of generations. Our generation is completely gone.
Yeah.
Completely gone. And the other part too that's crazy is you show people this information that's completely true information. They don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it. So, okay, back to taxes. Back to taxes. I think we have one more meme. Just finished my taxes. I owe Somalia $30,000. So on this last one here, and then we'll get to some more taxes. I wanted to say, I keep seeing people use this phrase that absolutely drives me nuts. That you have a patriotic duty to pay your taxes.
Oh.
No, you don't. Oh, you don't like roads? Dude, we are way past roads. We are way past schools.
I hate the roads one because go get the road redone in front of your house. Your taxes don't go to that. That's BS.
So the
You get assessed.
you get assessed, yeah. So that guy, the New York or the LA mayor guy, Spencer Pratt, he gave this example of how this money is being spent for specifically for homelessness on the Joe Rogan episode. There was a building sold like for $6 million or something. And then the very next week, I think it was sold to an NGO for like 25 million, like an insane amount of money, kind of like the Black Lives Matter scheme. Do you guys remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
And for reference, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, I think she was the leader of the Black Lives Matter. She bought a mansion and sold it to Black Lives Matter for like double the price 3 days later. I mean, it was like, how much more transparently corrupt can you get?
Right.
And again, when you show people this information, they don't want to see it. They don't care. It's like, oh, we'll just let it slide. What are you talking about? You can't criticize anyone else for corruption if you're not going to call out your own, agenda for corruption. But anyways, where was I going for that? So my point is, back to taxes and these NGOs and these slush funds. In Minnesota, the new slush fund recently is the autism slush fund. Like suddenly in Minnesota, what did it go from like $1 million or a couple $1 million to $300 million for autism in a couple years? No, that's where your tax money is going. It's going to whoever is on the receiving end of those slush funds, those people that are supposed to be, and it's a lot of the Somali community that is being uncovered. So, and again, the other part on this, it's not your patriotic duty. It's your patriotic duty to not pay taxes, in my opinion, as least amount of taxes as possible, and prevent it from going to these insane things.
But do it legally.
Do it legally.
Do
yes.
not turn into a sovereign citizen.
Do it legally. I think it's completely valid. Real estate, insane write-offs there. I mean, I think a lot of people don't realize how much they can write off if they structure things correctly with a personal business or whatever.
You get into some wild rabbit holes though, and you're like, all you have to do is Google is like, how do I avoid paying taxes? And you get sucked down some weird places.
There are people that they definitely don't do it legally, but
I get scared to even Google anything like that or ask, AI because I'm worried that it's going to flag me.
There you go. This is why there won't be another Tea Party, is because we are at the point where if you wanted to, for example, you wanted to start a tax strike, you wanted to start gaining momentum around the country and try to get people to not pay taxes as a strike. Hey, you guys aren't spending our money wisely. We're not going to pay you taxes. And let's say you gain momentum on that. You get 1 million people to sign your petition. They're not going to pay taxes. Guarantee you that they have all of your information. You will be framed for a crime. Something will happen to you where you will be silenced.
Yep.
1,000% guarantee it. The power is gone. And I hate to say that, but it's true. It's completely true. That you see people get silenced left and right. I
Yeah,
just watched a video on Alex Jones where he it was after, because he was real big in 9/11, obviously. He predicted 9/11 way before it happened.
Like 6-7 months.
Literally said it was going to happen, and it happened. When it happened, the day after, he said, there's a video of him saying, they're going to use this to take away our civil liberties. That's exactly what happened.
Introduce martial law.
Then all of a sudden, they at the first chance they get, once he starts gaining a lot of power, they wipe him out. They wipe him out.
It's weird how people they're willing to trade safety for freedom.
Yeah.
Like in a hot second, and they're not even really even getting safety.
So
I mean,
it's apathy. It's what is best for me. Here's an example. In Minnesota, they're proposing a wealth tax. They're proposing a 1% wealth tax on anyone who has a net worth of $10 million or more. And I said this to some friends. I was like, this is insane. This is where our state is, boys. Like, when do we leave? When is it time to jump ship? Is it too late to get involved to try and right this ship around? Which I sadly think it is. And the response was, it doesn't apply to us, so who cares? Whoa, dude. Like, it doesn't, I don't have $10 million, so it doesn't matter for me.
Yeah.
That's how income tax got to where it is. Income tax started as a 1% tax on the 1%. And now it's up to 37% federal tax. That doesn't include states. If you live in Minnesota, California, New York, you pay over half your paycheck to taxes because of things like that. Like we talked about earlier, this 1% tax, people from Minnesota are going to flee. It's already happening. People with money, they're going to leave. They're going to make less in taxes when those rich people leave. Oh no, we have to, it's 10 million. We're going to open it up to people with a net worth of 5 million. Next election, 1 million. Next election, we're going to do it on everyone. If you own a house, you own property, you have a 401k, we got to take 1% from everyone. Okay, we're out everyone. Now we're going to double it to 2%. You know what? Screw it. We're going to double it to 5. Next thing you know, in 30 years, we have nothing.
Oh, we got a bread line.
That's how it works. That's exactly how it works.
I haven't talked to you about this, so I'm talking about it here. And we've been seriously talking about moving out of here. I mean,
all of us have.
We are,
yeah. And I know you guys are more serious. Yes.
Really serious about moving out of here.
Yeah.
A lot of moves have been made already at this point. I mean, reaching out to other people, and we sat down with our accountant and asked for a real breakdown of what the price difference is between living in 3 different states. This is what we're looking at right now. And it has moved to actually 5 states because of some other outside sources or forces, I should say. But the thing that really opened my eye right now. So last year's taxes, because we just did our taxes, if we would have lived in Florida, our taxes would have been $38,000 less in Florida, and in Texas, if we would have lived in Texas, it was $46,000 less in taxes. Versus living in Minnesota is what we would have paid in.
It's wild.
It's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer.
I mean, that's a lot of people's what they make in a year.
It is, and you do that over 10, 20 years. You're talking that's a generational amount of money. That's a life-changing amount of money.
Well, that's
$40,000 is a life-changing amount of money.
In 10 years, I mean, 40. Just saying 10 years, that's $500,000.
$500,000
in 10 years, and then invested. What is that? Especially if you start throwing
millions.
in.
Several $1 million.
That's what I'm saying. Like but
you don't want that to go to Somali daycares,
right?
To
how are they
centers?
operating?
What about leering centers?
But how are these other states operating? How are these other states operating? And we can get away with it? Doesn't even make sense.
This is what it is, and I just said this on Twitter this morning. These Democrat politicians, they know that. They know this fraud is happening. This is distribution of wealth. This is redistribution of wealth. They know that, and that's what they want. Tim Walz is a known commie bastard. He went over to China, 30 times?
Yep.
He literally, their campaign was bring back the joy. That was a Mao Zedong slogan. That was a Communist Party slogan. The party of joy. Dude, they flaunted it in our face. This is not a secret. So all this, how do they do it? They do it because they're not communists. They don't believe in redistributing wealth. That's what's happening in Minnesota. That's why the Keith Ellison, he doesn't go after these people. He doesn't care. He wants this to happen. The guy was photographed with that book, the anti-fascist, the Antifa book.
Yeah.
They flaunt it in front of our faces. They don't care. It's happening in LA. Spencer Pratt was talking about it. These people aren't even Democrats. They are they use Democrat in their name to get elected because they go to. He talked about this.
Yeah.
It's like Democratic Socialist of America or whatever.
Right.
It's a wide organization. So they have Democrat in their name. They go to these old people and they campaign and they go, oh yeah, we're Democrats, blah, blah, blah. They manipulate these people into voting for them. That's how they get into power.
Well, two-party system, man. You got to go one or the other, or you're not getting elected.
Well, again, it's the lesser of two evils. That's a whole nother conversation. But
Bread and circus. You want your popcorn buttered or salted? Can't have both.
now I'm pissed. Now I'm pissed. But again, we talked about, and I know we've said this on this already. I think on the very first episode we did. But at what points, as you know, your family, in our lineages somewhere, someone said, you know what? We're going to take that wooden ship overseas because it's going to be a better future for our family.
Right.
You know, and at what point is that situation now?
so-
Do we do that now with our family? Because is the future here in this tampon in boys' bathrooms, messed up culture?
Dude, those bathhouses.
Bathhouses, the taxes, insane taxes. Is that future better here in Minnesota or is it somewhere else? The answer is obvious, but it's a lot harder. There's more variables, obviously, but those hard decisions need to be made.
Even looking at what happened there, I mean, looking at our history, they decided to move from where they were, and I think that's where we're at right now. Is like you got to move from where you're at. Yeah, you can fight too, and that's admirable. But I think the option of moving is the less resistance. You know, I mean, the easier option at this point right now, where we can actually get real results, move, and have something tangible. From that action, from that amount of work, so you're getting something back. But at some point, just like what happened to our ancestors, they got put into a corner where there wasn't another option. It was we die for this. Like we're finally here. And if that happens, I want to get around people that are likewise, like
That's
me.
just it.
And I don't feel like I'm around that right now. I feel like I'm around people that are not like that at all.
There's there's amazing people here, but there's there's a
amazing
lot
people
of loony people too,
Right.
like extreme people, not just like I voted for Obama people. Like I hang the weird flag people, and you're a Nazi if you don't do that too.
Right.
That's why I think the best route is Texas over to Florida. You got the Gulf states. They're still going to be prosperous. I mean, I don't know how far that line will go, but there is eventually going to be another Dixie line that takes place, and it's not going to be. It's going to flip sides. The Democrats will be on top this time. Conservatives on the bottom.
Yeah, I mean,
it's going to happen. I mean, eventually, because
that statement is crazy, but it's true.
Yeah,
I mean, people wouldn't even. Most people wouldn't even understand that statement. That was a deeper statement than I think most people even understand.
Back to the Second Amendment thing and that conversation is, I think, and I've made fun of people like this in the past that talk about that, but I can't remember who I was listening to, but they were talking about how we don't live in reality, and we haven't for probably since the end of World War II. I think Vietnam vets, people who went overseas in Iraq, Gulf War, they got a taste of reality. Reality is conflict. Reality has been war forever. And we haven't had to deal with that for a very long time. And people who don't think that could happen again are delusional. Things pile up. We look at Iran. I mean, things are escalating very fast there to places people don't want it to go, but one thing leads to another, and next thing you know, like it's full blown. I think people should be semi-prepared for reality.
Yeah,
because that reality is secular. It's going to happen again.
Did we talk about this? I don't want to talk about this, or did we talk about this in private? But I'm concerned with the amount of infiltration that's happening from other countries that are coming into this country.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's on purpose too. That is 1,000% on purpose.
But how willing everybody's like, come on in. You're welcome.
Suicidal
Come on
empathy.
in. And it's just like, wait a minute. And just like, oh, no. Don't be mad about it because we have privilege. We have a good life. It's like, wait, what are you doing? Like, why do we give in this all up to these people they don't give a shit about us. They want to take this from us.
Yeah.
It's just like, what's going on here? I mean, it's not about racism. It's about like protecting our culture and protecting who we are as people.
It's on purpose. It's 1,000% on purpose. And
then there's people that hate our culture that are a part of us. That's who they are. Like,
Dude.
Which is again another crazy. It's just freaking mind-boggling.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. And that's where it's disguised as empathy, and people. That's where I think what is it? The road to hell is paved with good intentions. A lot of these people think they're doing the right thing.
Right.
I'm protecting the people who don't have a voice. I'm flying the weird flag that represents all of these underprivileged people because I'm better than them and I see them as beneath me and it makes me feel good.
You know what?
That's what it's disguised as. It's disguised. It's suicidal empathy.
You know who doesn't have a voice? Their children, their children's children, their children's children. Like those people don't have a voice. Those people are the people that are going to be the ones that suffer for what the actions that are happening right now.
Right. A lot of those extremists don't want kids. They
yeah, that's true too.
You know,
which is good.
They're the end of the road.
No, that's good.
I mean,
that's good. I hope they don't have kids. But let's we're gonna combine this period. I told you it's gonna be a good show today.
We're fired up.
No, I actually am fired up, man. I really am fired up.
I am too.
I know there's supposed to be a good time on this show, but this is where we're at. This is what we gotta do. We'll get to some good stuff here in a bit, but just some real quick third period. We're gonna meld it into second period here. On clips, we'll have to clip this into multiple things because it's a long segment. But some more on the taxes before we move on. Some more facts here. So on this, the talking point right now is the rich people need to pay their fair share. It's getting louder and louder because of places like New York City. Pay your fair share. The rich got to pay their fair share. But they kind of already do. The top 1%. Okay, so first off, half of taxpayers pay 97% of federal income taxes. So the top 50% of taxpayers pay 97% of the federal income taxes. The top 1% pays 40% of all income taxes. The top 10% pays 72%, top 25, 87%. And like I said, the top half, 97%. And it's like 52% pay 100%. So if you're in that bottom half, roughly, you pay 0% income taxes. And more on that. Let me see. I think I have it here. I guess here he is. Yeah. So the income for people making over $640,000, a ton of money, they're taxed at a 37% rate. The income of people making under $50,000, $50,401, is taxed at a 10 to 12% federal income tax rate. So there is a lot of leeway there in how things are taxed here in America. And the pay your fair share narrative, it's totally false. But I feel like it's the easiest identity politics to peddle, the haves and the have-nots, because it's like, it really is, 99% of people don't live like Jeff Bezos. They don't live like Elon Musk. I guess even Elon Musk doesn't live a lavish lifestyle. At least, I think he lives in like a box next to...
It's like a
800
square feet.
Yeah,
I think he sold all his houses.
But 99% versus 1%, that's an easy thing to peddle. If we all just 99% of us get together and we take down the system, it'll work. That's easy.
Yeah.
Versus white versus black versus women versus men, 50-50 roughly, So it's one of those identity politics that it's gaining a lot of steam right now in places like New York, Minneapolis. But it's just a false narrative. It's false. The wealthy do pay a lot of money. They do. What else here? Oh, the last one here before we move on to our social studies class. The tax code is over 70,000 pages long. Can you believe that?
That's insane.
I asked my accountant, I think it was like 2 years ago now, I was like, hey, as someone who's been in this business for a long time, you got politicians coming and going on both sides, state and federal. Like, as an accountant, as a professional, what is it like for you to keep up with all these changes? And he's like, I do anywhere between like 48 and 72 hours of continuing education every single year. And he's like, you could just hear he's just tired, the exhaustion. Yeah. I'm like, this is nothing new. I do this every year. It sucks. I'm sick of it. So the answer obviously is a flat tax, but that'll never happen. 10% tax on every single transaction. There you go. You got the answer. Yep. 1-page tax code. So easy.
If you're a billionaire and you spend like a billionaire, then you pay more taxes.
Exactly. It's that simple.
If you're poor and you got no money and you pay for things like you're poor, then you
pay less taxes.
Pay less taxes.
And even but if you only make $1,000 a year, you only have $900 left after you pay your 10% of $100. Okay, well, let's say if you make under 50,000, we do a progressive tax system just like we already have. You don't pay any taxes because I understand that argument. $100 and yeah. So
The problem
It would work. That's my point.
the-
A flat tax would absolutely work.
The only thing is like the flat tax. I wish it was a flat tax where it was simple. But they would never have. That will never ever happen because of the simple fact that we have no idea how much we're paying in taxes. Really, truly don't. At the end of the day, I mean, when you go gas up and you pay tax on that gas, when you go to the freaking, you get taxed out of your check, and then you go to the store and you get taxed again. And different counties or different cities are taxing at different rates, and you get taxed for your license. You get taxed at different rates for your freaking cars. You get taxed for if you want to go hunting or fishing. You get taxed on your jet if you have a jet ski or a boat or whatever the hell it is. It's all these different places you're getting taxed at. And then if you want to do stuff like even go into like some of these parks and stuff like that, you got to pay fees. You got to pay this and that, and it's just like you can't just. It's like, wait a minute, I thought this was a government thing. Like,
So
why isn't this free?
the actual amount of tax dollars? What
Who
you're
the
saying
hell
is
knows?
who knows?
Who knows?
It's probably closer to 65% after you pay for all that stuff. Because
Right.
you pay taxes and everything.
Shit. You're paying for taxes on tariffs of things that you're buying too, right? When stuff's being tariffed, it's
Yep.
like you don't think
Yep.
that they're paying that. No, you're paying that.
You're paying that, yeah.
You're paying that. Like that's another hidden tax.
Yep.
Inflation. That's another hidden tax.
Pissed me right off. Now I'm pissed. I'm. Oh. All right, let's move on here. But anyways, tax system is very broken. And I will say though, this is the first year that I really feel like people are fed up. Like people are really fed up, and I think a lot of it has to do with, sadly, the undelivered promise of Doge. Doge was this thing to go in there and chop out all the waste and the fraud. People will say, "Oh, it still exists." Okay, well, where's the cuts?
Yeah.
None of this money is getting cut. They vote. I think Congress passed like $9 billion in cuts, maybe. Dude, we have like a $1 trillion deficit
On
$8
interest
billion.
alone.
Yeah. So like literally nothing. So I think people are just like, you know what? Both sides are in on this crap, and we're sick of it.
Yep.
So, anyways, let's move on here. We got social studies class. We're up to speed through this one here. I mean, did you guys have stories to talk about? Did you have anything? Because if not, we'll skip it.
We'll skip it.
Okay. So, because this is a good one. This is totally different. Changing topics here. This is a wild story that I came across on Reddit. This is it's on the True Off My Chest Reddit. I highly encourage you not to go on Reddit. It is a cesspool of horrible, horrible ideas and people. But every once in a while, the people that are on there find gold like this. There's a wild story, and I think that it's like a true crime. This would be a crazy book or documentary. But anyways, this guy says, I found out my ex-wife didn't abandon our family. She was dead the whole time. He, 45-year-old male, has a daughter, 22 years old, and a son that's 18. With Annie, ex-wife, who I thought abandoned us 15 years ago. Let's say she was going through a bad phase of her life. She was very depressed and had already abandoned us once for 3 months in the past. She promised me she's never going to do it again. One day, she said she was going to the store, and after a couple hours, I decided to go see at the store. She wasn't there. I wait one day hoping she would come back, but she never did. So I go to the police station to file a missing report. But they said they think she ran away because she has done it before and a grown adult can vanish if they want. So they never filed a missing report. I was devastated. How can I announce this to my kids? I was furious at her because she left me with our 2 kids alone. So 15 years has passed since that time, and one day I got a call from an investigator who said they need a DNA sample from my son or daughter because an investigation about a unidentified murder victim. I was very confused, but I tell it to my son, and he agreed to give them a sample. 3 months later, after that, I receive a call from the same investigator on the case and find the unidentified victim was my ex-wife. For 15 years, I thought she had abandoned us. I feel so bad now. My kids are devastated too. I don't know how to feel about that because I didn't believe her when she said she was never going to run away again. I feel like a piece of crap for being hateful toward her, but all this time she was dead and I had gone through this horror. I didn't know what to think. Isn't that insane?
That's wild.
Isn't that crazy?
Dude, I don't know, man. That guy seems sketchy. Like, if your wife disappeared one day and you're like, oh yeah, she's not. I mean, she's kind of been a little flaky, but I feel like I would be Magnum PI. I would have to like find out. Like I need an answer. Like if you don't want to be around us, that's great, but I need to know what's up.
I think the part of that story, and maybe it's totally BS, but maybe like the part that she had gone before.
Yeah, that is
And
a little bit of
and maybe
curveball.
during that time before he did that, maybe he was distraught, like, hey, what are you doing? Come back home, blah, blah, blah. And the second time was like, I already went through that. I tried to tell her. I tried to convince her.
You
and
did go to the police.
He went to the police, yeah. Isn't that crazy?
That is weird.
Yeah.
That's a weird story.
I know.
Huh.
On to another weird story.
Is this what you've been doing while you're I'm at home feeding the kid, reading weird stories?
Yeah, I was up from like midnight to 4 a.m. last night, and this is what I was reading. Yeah, just wired this morning. Had a whole pot of coffee this morning, dude. How you guys doing? Yeah. Let's talk about taxes and racial issues.
This is not what we were planning on talking about. We've gone off the rails so hard today.
I know,
That's
dude.
like, okay.
I could feel it in the air. I told you guys it was going to be a good show. I could feel it. I could feel the tension in the air. We're all on edge. But this is the feeling I get online as a whole. I feel like everyone is on edge. And this, back to taxes and onto this story, and this is actually where I wanted to have this conversation, is, let's start with this story first. Artemis. The Artemis.
Oh, good.
The moon visits. So honestly, I have seen the official stories. The Artemis mission, there was 4 astronauts. They went around the moon. They came back. The furthest a human has ever been away from the moon and came back. Actually, just been away from the moon in general. They landed in the ocean. They went on their press tour. Now, this is what I wanted to talk about. First off, let me ask you guys, do you guys think we went to the moon?
No.
This time.
Dude, no.
We're not getting into
The one lady was an actor.
Are you serious?
See, this is what I want to talk about.
Is that true?
I don't think it
Yeah.
is. I don't think it is. I don't think it's true.
Dude, let me
Find it out. Find it.
I
Find
know
it,
she
pull it
was an actor. It was in a big movie.
The astronaut? It was an actor?
The woman,
An
yeah.
actress?
And I saw the post Steve's talking about, but I think it's fake. I don't think she was in Mad Max.
Yes.
I don't know if that's her though. I think it was a fake post. So this is what I wanted to talk about because from what I've seen online, and I'm everywhere. I'm on the weird rabbit hole stuff.
Yeah.
I'm on the official. I look at the New York Times stuff.
It's real.
She really was.
Yeah, she was an extra.
That doesn't mean it was fake though. Let's just say it was real. Let's say she was. Okay.
Okay.
How does that mean she was an actor for the NASA space mission? That doesn't mean that. What if she had that was her fun hobby?
Well, here's why I think it was fake is you go on and look at all the images that they put out are CGI. Why do you got to put CGI out there? But I think what it is, I sent you the photo, or I told you the photo, the Antichrist, that we would not be delivered the Antichrist until the backside of the moon was revealed, is what...
Does that say that in the Bible?
In an old archaeology discovery.
If it doesn't say it in the Bible, I don't care.
I think it did. It did. In an old one. In a really, really old one, like the Ethiopian style.
Dude, I like that you brought that up.
Yeah.
So,
Dude, you go on, dude. It's fake.
So okay. To Deve's defense, this is where the internet and I think everyone is as a whole. Nobody believes anything. Nobody believes anything. And I will say that actor thing, that gives people reason to believe it's fake. There's a green screen thing, which I actually believe was AI, but they were in front of a green screen floating.
Yeah.
They believe that gives people reason to believe it's fake. The CGI photos, I keeps people see the thing was just traveling. It was 25,000 degrees and they're touching it 2 minutes later. That's a reasonable thing, but there is an explanation for some of that.
There is. And this is the only reason I don't understand why we would fake it at this point is in the 60s, we had a reason to fake it. Like, the faster we pushed our mission to the moon and we pushed that outer space adventure, Russia broke
Space race.
Right.
the
Yeah.
space race. I mean, you're bankrupting these countries where it had a purpose to fake that. I mean, but we had the hidden gem, Stanley Kubrick. That guy.
See, okay, Deve's getting way down there.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
See, he's getting way down the rabbit hole in the other space landing. We're not going to talk about that because that's a long one.
What?
No.
A lot of people. I want to stick on Artemis.
Okay.
And you know what? Actually, maybe that is relevant because I think a lot of people think that was fake too. And so they literally don't believe anything. They don't believe anything.
Yeah.
Like this, if real, which I think it was real. I do think it happened. I think it should have been a monumental time and a great thing to get behind and celebrate, but nobody cares. Nobody wants to care. Nobody believes it. And I understand it. I understand people's problem with authority, but we can't keep living like this. We can't, and I'm not saying we should bend the knee and just believe everything automatically, but something's broken. I don't know how it gets fixed, but, and I don't want to live like this either, dude. Every time I get online and everything I see online, I immediately think AI. That's my initial thought. Oh, that's got to be AI.
Well, here
this is fake. There's a propaganda here.
Yeah,
you know, like.
But why share CGI images? Why is the news? Why do we have to resort to CGI images?
Can you pull up what you're talking about? I don't even know what you're talking about.
Well, and it's not just that either. It's not just CGI, but it's the conversations that astronauts have. They're like, we can't see any stars in space. Yeah, we see a lot of stars. There's so many stars you can see in space. When you're up there, there's a lot of stars.
Did they say that?
Yeah, I mean, there's been conflicting like astronauts actually talking about what you can see in space and what you can't see in space.
Yeah.
But they completely go against each other.
You tell me right now when you look at this. Dude, that's all fake images. Like, why would that be like that?
Well, do you see, dude?
He's so fired up.
How about that video of the astronaut, like from like ABC, where he was like doing the first moonwalk, or I mean the first spacewalk? Did you guys ever see that in black and white?
That was the
reverse
I've
imagery.
Seen it. Yeah. No. So I actually shared that on Zeducation one time, and allegedly that wasn't pitched to the public as the actual footage.
It wasn't, okay.
At the time. Allegedly it wasn't even, this was like a reenactment. It wasn't like, hey, this is him on this, because that thing, faker than fake.
Yeah, that's
what you're talking about,
super fake, yeah.
But yes, that was not actual, they were not pretending it was footage.
Okay.
Allegedly. And I could be totally wrong. I could be, seriously, this is what I mean though. I don't know what's real. I can't tell. I want to get to what Obama said about this too. Like I said at the beginning of the show.
I think this is my point.
What are the CGI photos? I don't know what you're talking about.
There's no way we landed on the moon.
I can't
tell me which one of these is real.
There's no way we landed on the moon. There's no way we landed on the moon.
I have my doubts about.
There's no way, dude.
I have my doubts about the initial moon
landing. Look at this one. That is not real.
How I don't know.
What is that?
What website is it from? Is that on a NASA website? Go to the NASA website and see if they have photos on there. I want to see what they're actually pushing, because this could be all blog stuff. I don't want to see blog stuff where people artificially generate stuff. I want to see what
from NASA.
I want to see what NASA's putting out there.
NASA or the Smithsonian, yeah, that's a good one too.
I mean,
they shouldn't be lying.
So okay, on this though, what is the point of faking this if this is fake?
See, at this point, that's the part. There is no reason to.
Money laundering.
That they do say that,
dude. And okay, I'm not saying that's wrong, but this is where my whole point here of this whole bit is nobody believes anything. We have lost complete trust in the system. And I understand it, but this is not good. There has to be some trust. Dude, no, there has to.
Listen.
How do we have a functioning society?
There's no way we went to the moon. Listen, there's no way. Listen, but
stop. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about that.
But
I'm talking about 2026.
Believing, I understand. But I'm saying even now, like, how the hell did we go in the 60s and all we had to do is launch a rocket and then fling around the freaking the Earth and then say, hit a little freaking gas, and then freaking all of a sudden you go into the moon and then you go around the moon and you slingshot back to Earth. We go in the 60s and then we don't go back.
Understand?
We didn't.
That easy. It's that easy. That 70s.
I agree
that
with you.
easy and we never go back.
I agree with you. I think there's a lot of reason to believe that that never happened. I believe you. I actually.
It just doesn't make sense why we didn't go back if it was that easy.
I understand. But here's another thing. Here's a question on the Artemis. I have seen probably 50 different times now SpaceX launch a rocket and land it.
Yeah.
Upright.
Right. Yeah.
That's insane.
Crazy.
So
that's
to
crazy.
say we can do that, we can all see it with our own eyes. Yeah. To say we can't just go out into space and come back, I mean,
they might be able to do that.
Right. So
but where's
that's not out of the question of possibility.
Where is the real footage? That is all I'm asking for. Because
I don't know.
It's like, dude, this isn't real. That's not real. Like,
I'm not saying it's not real. This is the whole point of this thing is, and maybe it's all fake. Maybe everything is fake. Maybe we're all in a simulation and it's all an illusion, and we're just making things up in our own heads as to what reality is, individually. But dude, the point is, and this is what Obama said. You should try to find this clip. This is actually very important. He says once these things erode, once our trust in institutions, when we can't tell what the truth is, what's real, what's fake, then that's when countries fall. And we are at that point. We are at the point where this is outside of this. I don't believe anything. I can't believe anything online. It's awful. This is why I'm at the point where it's like, you know what? I'm going to throw my smartphone away. I'm going to go to church every Sunday. We're going to grow our own garden. We're going to live like the Amish because that's probably the correct way to live.
That's a 5-minute clip.
Is there any, can AI summarize it? Is there an AI summary of it?
The game is one quote. In a 2022 speech at Stanford University, Obama stated, once they lose trust in their leaders, in mainstream media, in political institutions, in each other, in the possibility of truth, the game is won.
The game is won. And I think he was probably saying that on the side of the winners.
Yeah.
On this authoritarian takeover that is happening, specifically with the tech lords.
Dude, yeah.
Now, the tech lords are probably the biggest threat that over any government.
Yeah.
But the governments are helping the tech lords. But that's what he said is where we are.
We
are there. The game is over. The game is over as far as our current country as it stands. The game isn't over. I think the answer is to just unplug from it and go to church and focus on your family. But
no, I agree, because I think at this point you can't. We can't turn back the dial. The dial is the dial is broken, and we have entered Mach 10. We're past it, and you can't bring that speed back down. Once it's broke, it's broke.
I was just thinking about this passage in the Bible. It says Timothy 3:7, always learning but never able to come to the knowledge of the truth. Talking about end times, we have teachers that will teach us, but they'll never bring us to the truth. It's just that's how I feel though. I feel like we can't. And I hate to say it this way, but this is really truly how I believe it. But I feel like it's like a fight against the devil. The truth is
1,000%.
We just can't believe nothing. Nothing. Everything's a lie. Everything's a lie.
That's why I asked Steve earlier. Did it say that in the Bible? Because that's where I'm at. Does it say it in there? Because if it doesn't, I don't believe it. Yeah. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, that's where I'm at too.
That's our guiding star of our family.
Yeah.
I feel like that's where we are at.
Yeah.
Because you can't believe anything else.
Yeah, and I have to say that out loud too. I have to say that I'm not going to sit back and hide that I don't believe that we're in a fight. When it all comes down to everything, even our taxes and the money and the war and the everything that's happening, it just feels like it's a complete fight against good and bad. It's the devil and God. We are in this struggle.
Yeah. No, I agree. I just had this conversation with a buddy. But that's where we as individuals have to strengthen ourselves and be that, hopefully that rock for other people, right? To help prevent them from going down those bad paths. Because you can slip into a bad path in a lot of places now.
And not to, and I don't even want to say that. I think we need to also truly be stronger Christians. When I say stronger, I'm not talking about more loving and caring and that, stronger to our faith, no sorrow for what we believe. I don't give a shit what you say about my faith or whatever, or try to put me down or put me in a place that you use it to leverage against me. It's no, I'm not, that's not my faith. That's not who I am as a Christian. That's not me. I'm sorry. And every time people do that and they try to judge me and they say, well, you shouldn't have said that because of that. It's F you. I don't give a shit.
Did you listen to the Easter sermon?
Yes.
He kind of mentioned that. He's like, look, he said there is a sacrifice as an individual for believing in Christ. And sometimes,
yes, that's right. Yep,
sometimes
that's right.
One of those sacrifices you're going to come across is, especially as a newer Christian, is, he's all churchy now. He believes in Jesus now. He's one of those Christians now.
Right.
They're going to mock you.
Yep.
They're going to laugh at you.
Yep.
And you're going to have to deal with that. That's part of it.
That's part of it. Yeah.
And that's,
passage,
whatever.
Yeah.
But I found this guy, I discovered the coldest Bible verse in the Bible. And this is my favorite one now. On what you were just saying, Psalms 118:11. They surrounded me on every side, but in the name of the Lord, I will destroy them. I love that.
That is a great one.
That's my
what
new
is that?
favorite.
Which one is that?
Psalms 118:11.
Hold on a second.
And it's the montage is like Rocky.
Nice.
Football. Dude, yeah. I'm gonna send this to you guys actually.
118:11.
Yeah, I'll send it to you guys in text right now. But yeah, so I think there is a battle between good and evil, no question. No question.
As we sit now, with all trust losses, anything can happen now. They can do whatever they want.
There we go, Dave. And this is what I wanted to touch on before I move on. I think that this information haze that we have, it's the wild, wild west still, even with all the consolidation of websites and platforms. I mean, the traffic online is consolidated to several platforms, social media and, Google, whatever. Because back in the day, I mean, there were so many different websites. It was insane.
Oh, dude.
It was insane. It was the true wild, wild west. But now the information haze is so strong. There's so much misinformation. The Artemis thing, for example, maybe it was fake, but I don't know what's real. I don't know if I've seen so many things where they were AI generated. Whoever said, "Oh, look at this CGI photo," that actually wasn't a real photo. It was someone just spreading misinformation. This is going to be a license for the Democrats when they get back into power to censor us. It is going to be like COVID times 10.
Yeah.
And I'm very comfortable predicting that, because I don't even think it's a good prediction. I think it's pretty obvious.
Yep.
I mean, they're out there saying this. Who was it? Was it Kathy Hochul? One of the big Democratic heads right now. Or was it Newsom's wife? Have you guys seen videos of her?
No.
What a nut job.
No,
Newsom's wife?
I've never seen her.
Oh,
yeah.
dude. I buy dolls for my boys so they understand what it's like to take care of a human. Like, dude, she is woke times 10. But anyways, those people are going to get back into power at some point, especially if Trump keeps going on the path he's going on, pissing his voter base off. And they are going to use all this information haze, all this misinformation that is out there, and they're going to use it as a license to censor people.
Oh yeah, dude, for sure,
It's
absolutely.
It's coming. I honestly, I would be shocked if we wouldn't get censored at some point for probably 10 different things we talked about
it's
today.
coming again. Yeah. I mean, we're in a different zone right now, or a different phase of the whole freaking information flow. I don't know why, and sometimes it scares me too to get on here and talk, because I'm like, oh, they're building their case.
Well, that's
why, like, who's who. You see a lot of this, like, you see right now, I'm seeing a lot of racist stuff online.
Oh, there's a lot
of hate stuff against
like
other people.
like actual bad stuff. Yeah.
Yep.
Not like, hey, let's have a conversation about racial culture in our country.
Right.
But real, like, I hate you because you have this skin.
Right.
That actually, it's everywhere.
Yep.
Well,
but I feel like they're making a list.
Well, they are.
Oh,
and
for
that's
sure
where,
they are. For sure they are.
The Palantir government contract has to do with that. It's about terrorism tracking, and through hate speech and all that stuff is involved inside of that contract. So when it gets brought into the next step, a part of Agenda 2030 is being able to take this information, and because a lot of the people that post that kind of stuff probably do go commit crimes, but just because I bookmarked one of those tweets, welcome to the list, welcome to this, and then you keep categorizing yourself with all those little things you interacted with.
Yep.
So Agenda 2030, and then eventually, because now the digital currency push, I don't know if you saw this recently, but it was within the last month that people are now coming out saying, yep, it's a matter of time that we will be a fully fiat currency. Everything is going to be digital. And then with that, without a doubt, because, dude, I remember when I brought up the social credit score of China, you're like, dude, there's no way that's real. And, dude, it's been real for years. And it's a matter of time before something like that, because the EHG scores was never a thing. And then all of a sudden it was under Obama, I believe. And then businesses had to work with this, not DEI culture, but that kind of woke culture to cater towards the green energy.
Yeah.
So Agenda 2030, it's happening.
The only thing that we can combat that with is, you think about back in the days, is being able to barter. And it's like, what do you have to barter?
Yeah.
Right? Like, what trade do you have? What skill set do you have? Like, what items do you have access to? Or, what skill set do you have that you can barter in the future that they can't control that? They can't control, like, with money. You can barter this always. It's like, hey, you need this done. You need some concrete work done. I can do concrete, if you can do this. Or
I'm not saying that's a bad thing, or I'm saying that is a bad thing. But what I will say is we already have a digital dollar.
Yeah.
People don't even realize it. Like, and I've said that, I probably said this like 30 times on the show previously, but
with credit cards and,
well, yeah, over 90% of US dollars do not have a physical backing. So 90% of US dollars already are just numbers in a computer.
Yeah.
So if every single person went to go get money out of the bank, we'd only get 10% of it because there's no actual physical dollars behind it. And it's been like that for a while.
But they're not tracking exactly how you're spending your money.
No, but
I mean,
but they can track it pretty damn easily.
They can.
Especially if it's digital. Like, dude, if you take out $10,000 or put in $10,000, they have to report that to the IRS.
Yep.
They can see where that money goes unless you take it out in all cash. But again, only 10% of money is cash.
Yep.
So that will make it much easier, though. Like, you literally won't be able to hide anything.
Yep.
Everything will be transacted in that, but
Listen,
it's coming.
Digital currency, here's where I stand on this. Digital currency is part of the Great Erase, right? The Great Erase, like historically, so we
The Great Erase?
Yes, the Great Erase, right? So I think that there's possibly, I'm starting to wonder, the more I'm like going down quantum physics, like I'm starting to believe that, well, I'm positive that time travel can exist, but I'm starting to wonder if time travelers don't come back and they have to come back certain spots, right? If there's no documentation of what's going on in those times, in those time periods, maybe they don't want to come back. So they erase. So in order for us to protect ourselves, we have to erase everything. So everything that's on the internet, like we've gone away from libraries and books and things that you can actually, intrinsic things that you can hold and to tell what's going on. You move on from that and you go on to the digital aspect of it. And on the digital aspect of it, we can erase everything. With a touch of a button, all currency, all information, everything that we are as a society and people, all the documentation is gone, and we disappear just like that, like boom, overnight, we're gone. The time travelers won't know what happened like 30,000 years. They won't. They'll have no idea what happened in this time frame, so they'll have no interest in coming here. They won't. They'll be, because they don't have like this great thing. They're like, oh man, let's go back and see Adolf Hitler and let's kill him or something weird shit like that, right? It won't be anything like that. We'll just be gone, and we'll protect ourselves from them coming to traveling for us right now.
What rabbit holes have you been down, dude? What in the hell are you talking about? What are you talking about?
I just wonder
Who
sometimes.
put a quarter in you, boy? Jeez. Here's the part. Okay, back to church. I hate to do this because, but you know what? Maybe it's the right thing to do. What did he say this weekend? Like the whole message was like, "Look, we're all gonna die." So what are we doing here? What are we doing clinging on to this stuff? It doesn't. In the long run, in the grand scheme of thing, you are a mist. That's what he says in the Bible. You are a mist in the span of time. This doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
So it's fun to talk about. We should care while we're here.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like, we are going to die. So 30,000 years from now, you know.
You know, I've been doing a lot of I've been looking into I don't know. I've been going on like these. I've been listening to these physicists talking, and I'm just like, at this point right now, I think that we already are dead. You know, I'm like, it's possible that we already are dead at this point right now. It's already happened. Our whole lives have already happened. And I believe that even on a biblical sense, because God went through and he walked, who is it? I can't even think now. Walked through like the history of time and talks about the end times. I mean, that's right. It's already happened, right? Our lives have already happened. And I think sometimes like you can stack time in think of like a book, or like we can travel through the pages. Right now, we're just living in our consciousness. Right now, we're living on a certain page. Right, but I think you can go up and you can go down. I think we're already dead, honestly, and I think that doesn't matter. The story's already written.
Have you heard of since you're down this rabbit hole right now? Have you come across the one where you don't actually die? If you do die, you surf to a parallel reality where you're living, so you don't actually die.
Yeah, it's more of like a blink.
Right. Like you're about to die, but so in one life you might actually die, but you're not going to realize it because your consciousness is just going to go to the parallel.
And it'll be deja vu.
Right. Well, I mean, there's a lot of things. Again, going back to the Bible, it's like he knew us. I can't quote. I'm not a good scripture quoter, but I mean, in the gist of it is like he knew us before we were even born. Yeah. Right. It's like, okay, so he knew us before we were born, and we know that there's eternal life after the fact. Right. I mean, you go to hell, you go to heaven. Like, where's this? Where's that? I mean, are these different universes you got to go to? You got to do, you start wondering a little bit. It doesn't lay it out exactly in the Bible, but there's little clues. Yeah. There's little clues that you kind of can fill in the blanks. And you probably, I think a lot of Christians would say, well, don't do that. Don't start making up stuff and
well, yeah, of course. Yeah. Because people do that. And
they
it's crazy what
can come of it.
Perversion of I'll see stuff and be like, well, where does it say that? Like, does it actually say that?
But-
then I'll go look it up and be like, how are you guys doing that? I just following that. That's not what it says.
Right,
Yeah.
right. But I think, one thing on the Bible, like it's the living word. You always hear the living word, and it's like, man, that thing really is. Like you go into church and you might go into church on Sunday and say, you know what, that was written for me. And then someone else that has a completely different group of problems that listens to the Bible and they're like, that was written for me. What's going on for me right now? It speaks to people differently.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's an interesting thing, but I don't know, man. I don't know. We were just talking about the digital dollar. I don't know how we got here.
Well, I don't know, you got real dark and like, dude, it's all dead. We're all dead anyways.
Well, we're alive, but I mean, it's just in this in the state that we're in, we clearly are alive. But
Tracy Lawrence makes a song to explain it all.
I think it's more.
Time marches on.
Yeah, it's more complicated.
We need to be as strong as we can and build ourselves up as much as we can while we're here. That's what I believe. We can't black pill that hard.
Yeah,
and I think that the stronger we are, we make people around us stronger as well. So, and that's where that's what the mentality people need to have, I think. Because it's not over. I think there's a lot of great things happening.
Screw the Lamborghinis, screw the money,
Absolutely.
screw all that stuff that doesn't matter. I mean, really, truly, just try to be good people, find a relationship with Christ. This ride is quick, man. I'm 50 freaking years old, and I'm about to be 51 years old. It just is like, boom. It's so fast. I can't tell young people how fast it is. It's so fast.
I was actually just saying that to my mom. I was like, man, I remember when your guys' son was born.
Well,
we went to the restaurant, and he was sitting in that little high chair. We were in like the bar for happy hour with a little baby.
Yeah.
At the time, we do that all the time now. Or, when we go to the restaurants now, it's like, well, whatever. Let's bring the kids, But that was 15 years ago.
Yeah.
That was crazy, dude.
You know what my son said to me? And then now, you know what my son said to me last night about the astronauts? He literally said this like unprovoked. He goes, Dad, I don't think they went to space or they landed on the moon. I'm like, what? He said this unprovoked. He goes, the astronaut, one of the astronauts, they asked if you went to the moon and he wouldn't put his hand on the Bible.
Yeah.
And
that
I was like, what?
Which guy was that?
Buzz Aldrin, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like, yeah, I don't think so.
That's
and
it,
then he walked
dude.
away. I was
it's
like,
a crazy
maybe.
rabbit hole, man. And I'm there's so many questions around that. Yeah. We got to move on. We got to keep going. Dave, do you have anything? Did you have anything for your story? The lake?
Well, no, actually, I have 13 tons of Kit Kat chocolate bars totaling roughly 400,000 13 units were stolen during a transit shipment in Europe. And there it was
my God. This is amazing.
And they were a special edition for the F1 races. So Nestle confirmed each bar has a unique batch code printed on the package. So they launched an official stolen Kit Kat tracker on April 1st, which nobody believed it either because it was April 1st, April Fools. And yeah, the stolen candy bars was part of a special edition range developed for a Formula One promotion. Nothing. Haven't found it. But like, dude,
So
Kit Kats,
they got away with it.
Yep.
Nice.
Dude, actually lately, have you guys been hearing all the art thieves and stuff? I mean, this is straight out of a movie.
What?
Dude, they're breaking into art galleries like the Louvre and these top ones that you see like on movies, and they're in and out in 10 minutes, and they're stealing high-end $1 million, like, dude, top of the line. And all of them are like, we've never seen any group work like this before. The one, they put a crane outside of the window of the building, and they just broke in and out.
I saw that one.
Dude, it is
Yeah.
wild. Like, we're seeing the full-on
Real
freaking-
Ocean's 11.
Yeah, but better because it's real.
Oh.
You know what? In New York, I was at the Smithsonian, and they had like Van Goghs and stuff like that there. And I'm like, how do they? I mean, I could literally be like, touch it. It didn't have glass over it or nothing. It just was right there, nothing between us. How do they get away with that? I don't get.
I think they put fakes out there.
You think?
I think
Yeah.
they have to. They have to.
Yeah, it's just too valuable. Some of them, that's the part with art, dude. It's fart. Like, some of it's good, but how do you really? I would never be able to tell the difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
dude, real thieves, man. Real life freaking Ocean's 11 coming
Hell
out here.
yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
And then we got these Kit Kat guys. They're like, dude, one day we'll get to the art. We got to start somewhere.
What a weird thing we do as critters. Like you put some paint on that canvas, and it's worth millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So I feel like when I see something, even the guy that we know, when I see that, it's like, huh, That's like hours of that guy's life.
Yeah.
You know, and in what's going on in his brain when he's doing that. You know, I
Yeah.
mean, that's kind of something different. But like someone that paints something that I'm gonna draw my emotion, right? It's like
Right.
like the people that these churches even that's a piece of art that take like 600 years to build. That's actually I went down the Tartaria rabbit hole.
Nice, dude. Nice.
I don't think that's real, but
It's a good one.
some of those churches though in Europe, you're like, whoa! I mean, that's someone's life in those sculptures.
Yeah.
They sat with a chisel and did that, dude. That's insane. I can appreciate that. That's like thousands of hours of that guy's life,
Yeah.
and it's living still. That's insane.
That's why I like I feel like we're in this weird era right now of like we kind of go through our phases. But because there was the piano phase where, I mean, that was the thing, like being Sebastian Bach. And then you're getting trained in to be, not Van Gogh, but you just go down the list of the pianists. And then it was kind of in and out of painting, artists. But the art phase right now is totally cinema. And I don't know if we're moving out of that. But
Cinemas and movies, or you're talking like a Gen Z?
no, like
You know-
movies.
Okay, because that's like the word now. It's cinema, dude. It's like, that's
Oh.
cool.
No, I'm not that cool. But, it totally in the 1900s we moved over from, and painting and stuff still is there, but movies have became the future art of what maybe people are going to look back in, 200-300 years of this era's generational.
That makes sense, actually. I mean, with AI, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. And then maybe that'll be the next 100 years is
Right.
the AI artist, freaking whatever.
Huh. It's interesting thought.
Speaking of heists, there's something else I was going to say too, but I forgot. The organized cheese bandits. I love those quirky stories. Like they steal stuff.
That's what I was thinking of when he told that. That's what I thought of when
That's
he
real.
told that story.
They're stealing cheese in Wisconsin.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah.
Some of that cheese is expensive.
Yeah.
That aged cheese. Some of it's real delicious too. But they like this one here. Organized cheese bandits still on the loose. Still on the loose, man.
That was going to be a movie.
It should be.
Yeah.
It's like those quirky movies that get made that they don't get made anymore because they don't make the money.
I feel like stealing the Kit Kats was a mistake.
20,000 pounds of fresh Wisconsin cheese from Green Bay to Milwaukee led to a mysterious crime that remains unsolved.
20,000 pounds?
20,000 pounds. A one hard
That's a
luck
lot.
semi-trailer driver. Yeah. So $46,000 worth of stolen cheese.
Oh, dude, that's where, like, when my thought is, who the heck would steal cheese? So if I'm working the factory and some guy pulls up, like, yeah, here to get this, this, and this, if his confidence was there,
Yeah.
all right, dude, I guess you're here to get it. No, who else is stealing cheese?
Right. That's how you do it. You got to be confident.
It's all about confidence. Well,
Yeah.
that's like the time we snuck back into the Timberwolves locker. Remember that?
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
We snuck, and that's such a great example in my life of how that works.
Yeah.
Is
Just walk.
dude, no,
This is
I'm
the
pretty
long
sure
hair.
we've told this story a long time ago, but I was that right out of the military, I think. So 2015,
You must have been just out.
Yeah.
just fresh out of the military, because it was that spring too, because it was that season. So like March of 2015, and you're like, dude, let's sneak back in the locker room, and we kind of just creep over there, and you're like, all right, I'm gonna distract the security guard, and when he gets distracted, you guys go, and we're walking over there, and all of a sudden you go, oh, go, and the security guard was distracted by that kid in the wheelchair. We literally just walked right by and went in, and nobody said anything. And then someone said something when we got to the like the fine dining area, and he's like, "What are you guys doing back here?" And you're like, "We lost a guy. Have you seen him? Like short brown hair." Like he's like, "Oh yeah, I know." You were so confident that he thought you belonged there,
Yeah.
and he just didn't even ask questions. He's like, I haven't seen him. And that was it.
Yeah.
That was it. We just stayed. That was it. It worked.
Because people, yeah, I mean, it's just the same thing we do with our little kids. It's just distraction. It's a distraction. Confidence and distraction.
Yeah.
It's you distract them. And you're like, oh, hey, look over here. And it's like, what? And remember, all these people are making. I mean, they're making minimum wage standing there.
Yeah.
A lot
Oh,
of
yeah.
them are.
Yeah.
So they don't know what the hell's going on, and they don't want to piss somebody off and get in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Because they don't know who's who, and they're just like, wait, who are you? They know that you're supposed to have a badge, but maybe you're someone that's so important that doesn't have a badge.
Mm-hmm. That's one thing about content nowadays that reminds me is because there's people that that's their content is they
Yeah.
sneak into places.
Yeah.
They sneak into locker rooms. They sneak into venues and they videotape it. And I'm like, that's genius. And then I'm like, man, that is a great idea. But at the same time, I don't know if there's any good content ideas anymore. Like everything's been done so many times. But if this happened in 2013, I mean, he would have been on Ellen, right? They would have invited him on Ellen. Like the dumbest stuff got invited onto shows when the internet was a new thing still. The dumbest channels went viral because they were pioneers. It doesn't matter.
So there's a new channel. So there's a new channel called that has PDF.
Yeah,
Is that
PDF.
is that the thing? Is like little kid things?
Yeah.
Anyways, he catches the stalkers that are doing this, and then he beats them up. Right. Well, I saw one last night. This is just coming up on my feed. He caught 2, and he's like, "All right, I'm calling the cops on you guys. You both have to basically, you guys have to fight. Whoever wins the fight, I'm gonna let go. The other one is going to jail." Right. And they fought it out. The two people fought it out. I'm like, that's where our content has gotten to, though.
I know.
I'm like, dude, why don't you just call the cops on both of them?
You know what? That's not even extreme enough because that's been done repeatedly. And isn't that crazy that they're doing it for content?
Yeah.
For content.
Not to save kids.
Yeah, not to say, I'm going to let you go.
Yeah.
That's been so many. I mean, there's like a dozen channels now. That started with Chris Hansen. And Chris Hansen still does it.
That's right.
He still does his show. Did you know that?
Yeah.
He still
I didn't
does
know
his
that.
show. And I saw that because some guy got caught and he was doing his interview, right? And because his is a classic show, right? It was like the OG of that kind of content. It was literally on, what did they aired on, MSNBC or CNBC or something?
Yeah.
But anyway, it was on TV for years. The guy was like, "You're still doing this?" The guy that he caught, the PDF that he got, is like he was
It's
insulting
not that I'm
him.
going to jail.
Yeah,
It's
right.
like that.
"You wanna-
You're still
take-
doing this?
Take a seat. Hey, are you Chris Hansen? I am. Yeah, let's take a seat. Let's look over your text messages. Dude, you're still doing this? like he was insulting him. Like, dude, you're the one in trouble. But I guess that's the point, though, I'm making, though, is everything's been done. I don't know if you can do anything original at this point anymore for content. I mean, me personally, when I consume content, it's like, seen it. Give me a good documentary. That's all I care about. Like, give me something. That's it. And that is like one of those come out a month. I should say, we talked about the Matt Walsh series. Yeah, those are great. I love that content.
Someone will regurgitate something from the old. They'll make a new version of it, and because no one will remember that it existed, and then that's basically how it will play out.
Yep.
I mean, to have real true new content, oof, that's tough.
It is.
That's really tough.
It is. All right. You know what? Speaking of documentaries, let's move on to our last bit here, and then we'll we'll end this crazy show. Speaking of which, we got to have a guest on here at some point.
I know. Janelle LaBelle.
Let's start with Janelle.
Janelle LaBelle.
Actually, there's a lot I want to talk about with Janelle. So
dude,
she'll be our first
freaking
guest.
Loaded.
She's loaded.
Buckle up.
I know. Well, that's why I want to have her on.
Buckle up.
But I want to talk to her about a lot of stuff, though, and I think it'd be a really good interview and a good pilot interview too to kind of get used to it. So, but until then, and that's what I want the show to turn into. We do this once a week. We do an interview once a week. So that is still the goal of this channel. But like, man, we've all been all over the place with busyness and so having kids and traveling and moving to other states.
Trying to.
Mentally.
Trying to.
Yeah. Getting out of the winter depression.
Yeah, it's there. I think it's there.
I think we're out of winter. All right, but 7th period film studies. This week we watched, or we're supposed to watch, I don't know if you guys watched it, the Untold Operation Flagrant Foul. And then next episode, which will not be next week, it'll be the week after, The Plastic Detox. I have not watched it yet, but allegedly it's about plastic.
It's out of our bodies. It was the
you
lady
watched
was
it?
on Joe Rogan.
Have you watched it?
No, I haven't, but I've heard of it.
I've heard a lot of people talk about it. Our mom talks about it a bunch, but it's apparently a bunch of shocking info. So we will watch that for next week. I'll try to watch that Joe Rogan too with her. But Untold Operation Flagrant Foul, we decided to watch this after we were talking about sports betting and the NCAA. And I think this was very relevant to where we are now because I saw this crazy stat. So anyway, before I get to the crazy stat, this documentary is about the referee who got caught sports betting, shaving points, and helping manipulate games in the NBA. It was a giant story when it happened, and people were shocked and they couldn't believe it. And I think the thing that I saw, like when I was watching this, I was like, dude, this happens probably every single game now.
Right?
Yep.
We live in a sports betting world. I know this happens every single game. Every game. And here's more proof of that in the NBA specifically. I got to find this tweet here. I sent it to my buddies because I think I might have sent it to you, Dave.
Yeah, how many are doing it per? How many get caught?
Yeah,
right.
That's just it.
Right.
You know.
But look at this. So, this is from a guy named Mark Stein on Twitter. A notable NBA trend stat. Teams were awarded nearly 4,500 more free throws this season compared to last year. 57,768 free throws. Last year, 53,312.
What?
That is insane. So if you're a referee, it's a little close. It's got to be 8 points or less.
Right.
Call an extra foul here. I'll
Yep.
call an extra foul there. I'll miss that call there.
Yep.
Stop the momentum.
Stop the moment. Guaranteed that happens now. And I feel like that's proof. For sure, that's proof.
Listen, it's entertainment. Let's just everyone calm down. It's entertainment,
Yeah.
right? It's entertainment, and it blows my mind to think. Even when I'm watching a game and I see a call, like so, if I'm watching Monday Night Football, for example, and it's a blowout game, and then someone like throws like a Hail Mary up, and they're like, "We're trying to get back into it," and then they catch the ball, and then like their foot, like they're like, oh, "No, that wasn't a catch." It's like, dude, you just had a chance to pull this game together. If they don't pull the game together, if I was the NFL, I would lose my mind. I would lose my mind because it's like, dude, listen, keep people engaged, keep people watching, keep people
Yep.
in the game. Like it's like
Yeah.
we have commercials to sell, we have ratings to meet.
Yep.
It makes sense. You know, that makes sense to me. But then on the flip end, like what we're talking about here, it's you know, it's not just that, but now people are, you know, cashing in themselves, trying to control the game themselves. Each individuals are controlling the game, like this, you know, this referee was doing.
Well, it was at the beginning of the season, the NBA season. You remember the Chauncey Billups thing?
Yeah, Terry Rozier.
Terry Rozier. There was so you can bet on the craziest stuff on these websites. If you're, and I think this is what Terry Rozier did. There's footage of him taking himself out of a game, so you can bet like, is Daniel going to get more than 9.5 points or 10.5?
Right.
So if I'm the player and I know that's out there, and I know my
Right.
buddy has 10 grand on that bet,
Exactly.
I might miss a few. I might get hurt.
Right.
That's what Terry Rozier did. He purposely pretended to be hurt, took himself out before he hit that threshold, and cashed in. That's happening all the time. I guarantee it.
Yep. And I'm all for, I think sports betting, the player should be allowed, but you can only do it on the team to win. You can only do it on your team to win. If you're
I
betting
would
on-
love that.
I mean, if you're
That makes sense.
Dude, it does.
That does
If
make sense. Yeah.
You're betting on your team to win. Well, it benefits the team. It benefits you. It
You're
benefits
gonna play
the fan.
harder.
Yep.
Yeah, that should be allowed. Actually, absolutely, that should be allowed.
Yep.
But yeah, no, the sports betting is out of control, and I think that's these referees are for sure in on it, 1,000%. What was that other one? Actually, have you guys watched any of the recent Untolds? There's two
No,
more.
I
They suck. They're
Oh,
awful.
really? Dang.
They did one on Lamar Odom
Yeah, I saw that one out
Odom.
there.
because he got into drugs. You know,
Yeah.
crazy story, but
Yeah.
he got the documentary because he's a Kardashian.
Dude, you had Kobe
then-
and Powell. I mean,
They just did another one on the Trailblazers. Garbage. It was like, stop doing the NBA. Do something.
Yeah.
Do one on Randy Moss. Like,
Dude,
do one on
seriously.
a fun one. Do it on the Vikings curse. Like, do it on.
well, dude, I love when they do college guys. Like, when they do like the Untold. Like, that's what I thought the whole thing was. Is I can't remember the football guy. Absolutely phenomenal at Auburn. Like, just crushed every record. But then I think he tore his knee or something and just couldn't really cut it in the NFL. And then they had a few college ones where the guys were absolutely insane. Like Lenny Bias, you know, not a lot of people really know him, but he was like better than Michael Jordan at the time, they said, and then died of a cocaine overdose.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was a crazy one.
But you don't hear of him. I mean, that we're 30, 40 years past that.
Yeah.
God, you know, you don't one that would be easy to cheat. We're coming on the draft right now, so people are probably betting on who gets drafted where.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right. But I mean, even as a coach, you could say, yeah, we're looking at this guy, we're probably going to draft this guy or this guy. You know, that coach himself could be betting against,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
that. And then if they said, well, why didn't you go after him? He was available. Be like, yeah, I mean, that could have been a smoke screen. You know, like, no,
Yeah.
I don't really, we didn't like what we saw. We just wanted someone else to pick him.
Yeah.
If I had the first overall bet now as a coach, screw it, dude. Bet the family farm for a couple bucks.
That is kind of a crazy thought. I mean, like, yeah, even the draft you could control.
Yeah.
Everything.
Pretty
I
easy.
mean, dude,
Yeah,
that's why
right.
they just, I think the Trump administration I think they put out a warning to people who work in the White House, like,
Yeah.
hey, you guys, you can't be using Kelshi and you know, Polymarket
Right.
because you're gonna get caught and it's gonna be bad press, because they were definitely doing that.
Yeah.
There's no question. I mean, someone real close to Trump is doing that with the crypto market.
Oh,
And
yeah,
that's
dude.
obvious. We just talked about it earlier in the show, but
What day will the war be over? That was over yesterday.
dude,
He declared it over yesterday.
Yeah.
He won big time.
speaking of which,
Can you bet on
something
that?
else I say.
Can you bet on when the war
Oh,
ends?
dude, you can
Yeah.
bet on everything.
Really?
You
Yeah.
can bet on everything. Let me pull it up right now. You can bet on everything, dude.
I haven't
Like,
been on these sites because it's illegal in the state, is it not?
No,
No, not anymore.
no. That's the thing. We talked about this.
I-
This is not a sports betting website. It's a prediction market.
Yep.
It is the most hilarious workaround I've ever seen in my life. I'm saying like, I actually do think these should be illegal. I do think sports betting online should be illegal. I think it is a detriment to society. I really do think it's bad for like 99% of people that use these apps. The amount of stories I've seen where people like, they started betting $5 a game. Next thing you know, they lost their college tuition and they're into drugs and they, attempt their own life. And it's like, is this something that we should be letting young people get into, or anyone in general? Like a very, very severe, terrible vice. Here's one. What's the gold price today going to be at 5 p.m. Eastern? Above $4,794? Above $4,804? You can bet on that right now. You can bet on that. That's insane.
That is insane.
That's insane. Brent crude oil prices at 5 p.m. Eastern. $99? Above $98? What about tomorrow? Is it going to be below $90.99?
$90?
You can bet on anything.
Hmm.
Anything. Let's see. What else we got here? Elections. New Jersey special election. Democrats allegedly have a 99% chance of winning. So there you go. California governor, Tom Steyer. You can bet on that. Speaking of, did you guys see that? That idiot that got Eric Swalwell?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, dude, what a jackass. You know what? I wish him well. I hope he finds purpose in
happened?
life.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, he was running for, you know who that is, right?
No.
He was probably one of the more vocal Trump tards, like Trump derangement people.
Okay.
Like the Russiagate people, which we know is a hoax, right? One of those people that was like, Trump does behind bars.
He
blah,
farted
blah.
on camera.
He was the
He
guy.
was the guy that farted on camera.
Yes.
He farted on camera.
Okay. Yep.
Classic clip.
Yeah.
One of the bigger scumbags in Washington, D.C., he was running for governor and was the favorite to win because Newsom's going to run for president. It came out like there's multiple allegations from people that worked for him. Multiple women came out against him. And then multiple videos came out of him in hotel rooms with hookers. And it was so bad, like something that he couldn't just lie his way out of, that he had to resign. He had to step out of the race and resign from Congress.
Wasn't he?
He's not even finishing his
Wasn't he
term in
married
Congress.
to the spy?
The spy, the China.
Yeah.
That's how delusional and blind eye these people were. It's
That's
like
crazy.
he married or got with, I don't know if he was married to or dated a Chinese spy. God knows what he said to her and gave in secrets. So yeah, he went down in flames, and it's a beautiful thing to see. He deserves it.
What do you guys think of what's her name? That lady that was a big Trump supporter, the congresswoman. That was like
Marjorie?
huge. And now they're claiming that she took money from Soros, possibly.
Marjorie Taylor Greene?
Is that who it is?
Yeah, that is her. But if that's what they're trying to say, or
What's his
she
name?
did.
Who's the guy that exposed the Somalian daycares?
Nick Shirley.
Yeah, Nick Shirley's claiming that she took money from, I believe it's her that took money from Soros.
Really?
Like $50 million in order to flip flop.
Really?
Yes. Fact check that on there. I just want to make sure that's
Because I will say, I don't mind her. I think that her early days in Congress, it was like, this is kind of a bad look at some of the stuff.
right.
But and that's a lot of people in Congress. But I feel like she's been pretty consistent with this America First thing and just saying, hey, Trump, dude, you like
Right.
abandon America First, man. What the hell's
Right.
going on?
Yeah.
So, and I think a lot of people are on her side. Like, yeah, she's right.
He's claiming he's got proof. I just caught a glimpse of that.
MTG Soros.
I just got a glimpse of that like this weekend. I'm like, what? And I've been super busy, like dealing with family stuff right now. So I haven't
Soros
been.
buying MTG would explain it all. So one picture, there's a picture of her with Alex Soros. While looky here, Marjorie Taylor Greene and Alex Soros. I wonder if that's when she cut the deal and accepted the bribes from the Soros family. I hope it's worth it, MTG. Damn, Benedict Arnold. I don't know if this is true or not. I would be shocked.
She's been consistent with her message. That's the only
She
thing.
has. And that's the part where I'm like, it would make sense for them to smear her with that because it's totally
Sure.
discrediting.
Sure.
But the Epstein, that's all she wants is the Epstein files, and I'm for that.
I know. That's the thing.
Yeah.
That's what she says. And I'm like, yeah, she's right.
Yeah.
Like, and that's what I said earlier in the show is like, if we care about the Epstein files, we're no supporters of you. Okay. I that's what you campaigned on. That's what,
Yeah.
JD Vance, your attorney general, all these people said was going to come out. And now you're saying we're backstabbers if we want that? Anyway, so for her to like keep her consistent, I don't know if this is true or not. I'll have to look more into this, but so here we go. This is what Grok says on that. No, there's no evidence of bribery by Joros or Gates. MTG's stock gains are from her disclosed congressional trades, which are publicly tracked and show strong performance in 2025. The Nick Shirley receipts claim originates from an unverified social media post without supporting documentation or IRS action reported anywhere. And it's got a fact check on here too. So this looks like one of those Trump loyalists. Trump could shoot someone and he would still be a Trump supporter accounts, smearing her. And it looks like it's fact checked. So I don't think that's true. According to this, Grok.
I don't. Who the hell knows? Again, what's true, what's not
true, and what's not? I don't know.
Here we go,
I don't know. There's a photo of her and Alex Soros. Is that AI generated? I don't know.
Well, they decided yesterday not to go forward with the investigation against the attorney general here. What's his name?
Keith Ellison.
Keith Ellison. Yeah, did you see that?
They voted to impeach Waltz and him, and it was 8-8. Yeah,
8-8.
Democrats all voted against impeachment. Of course,
8-8,
but there's another sign of Minnesota being too far gone.
Yeah.
I don't know if the Democrats get both the House and the Senate or the state control, it's over, dude. They're going to pass everything they want. It's over, and we're already gonzo. It's just, it's sad. So when I think of back to before we get going, we got to get going.
Yeah.
Before the guy that's running for mayor, Spencer Pratt.
Yep.
He's staying and fighting for his town, right?
Yeah, good for him. Yeah.
I know that's what I want to do here, but how? I don't know. I don't know if it's possible. I
Yeah,
really don't.
For sure, it's possible. You can run.
You think it's possible to take back power from the Democrats in Minnesota? That's not possible.
I think that there's boy, I don't know.
I don't think it's possible. And here's why. We all see this stuff. Like, this is all factual information why conservatives in Minnesota are pissed off, why everyone's upset, why this state has become a laughingstock on the national stage. It has been a laughingstock for years. It's an embarrassment what this state has become. When you go into Minneapolis, when you talk to people who live there, I see posts online, they think Minnesota is a utopia. They think Minneapolis is a utopia. They love what's happening. There is a great divide here, and I don't see that divide ever happening or ever changing.
So here, the storm has to happen like this. So this is the problem. So the good for the Republican Party right now is that all of the corruption that's happening in Minneapolis. I mean, there's everyone can't disagree. You can't even deny it that there's corruption happening. I understand, but you can't deny it. So I'm talking about the diehards are going to be the diehards for always on both sides of the parties, right? But there's those middle people that are like, yeah, there's a lot of corruption here. The but to it is it's not a perfect storm right now. See, Trump is a little bit on the wild side right now, where I feel like it's got to be on the presidential side. It's got to be a Democrat, and then on the and they're train wrecking everything. And on the local side, it's got to be ran by the Democrats also, where people want change. Because I think as Americans, we definitely are about shaking the frickin', grabbing all the dice and going for a Yahtzee, throwing all 5 dice inside there and seeing what happens, kind of situation. And I don't think we're there because it's not the perfect storm. That's the only bad thing.
So you're saying that things will get so bad that people finally rise up,
just like
2016.
Things have to, yes. Things have to get so bad.
Here's the thing about that, though,
in order
dude,
for that change to happen.
The part that scares me about that's generally the cycle of politics.
Yeah.
Democrat, Republican, blah, 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 blah. The Democrats in power now are extremists. They're extremists. And they're not the old Democrats. So them getting in power and holding power, they will do whatever they have to stay in power.
Who's that news guy on HBO?
John Oliver?
No.
No, he's got the glasses. I can't think of it. I can see his face. Yeah.
He has a show. He's a big time Democrat. He's a big Democrat. He also has it on other channels now too.
I have no idea.
Dude, he's super big. You would know him right away.
Anderson Cooper?
Nope.
No, he's not on the news. He's like a comedian slash
Bill Maher?
ultra smart.
Yeah,
Bill
Bill
Maher.
Maher.
Thank you.
Okay, yeah.
Bill Maher. But he, it's funny because if you listen to Bill Maher, it's like, no, see, like some of the shit that he says, like I've never really liked that guy, but some of the shit he says, I'm like, okay, I can get behind that. Like,
Yeah,
he makes
he's
sense. Like,
anti-woke.
you know, yeah. But I mean, he doesn't even like he doesn't like where the Democrat Party is, and he's been an extremist in the past. Like I can remember, I'm old enough to remember him back in like the early 2000s, 90s, saying stuff, and you're like, who is this wild idiot?
Yeah,
You know,
that's
now-
the Overton window is
Now he's like, now all of a sudden he's like
He's a
the
voice
old
of
man that, like it's like, who is this guy? Like, screw you, old man, get lost.
Yeah.
So he's either gonna have to like go follow them to the extremist, or is he gonna be the voice of reason? Right? Will he continue to use the platform as the voice of reason? But
Yeah, but I see exactly what you're saying. There are pockets of people like him out there, the older Democrats that have not shifted into the extremism, but those people aren't in power.
right,
The AOCs, the Mamdanis, the Gavin Newsoms, the extremists are in power,
yeah,
and those positions of power attract the crazy people. So I don't know, and reasonable people have to stand up, and that's the only thing. But then you have to convince other reasonable people that that's a good idea and that's worth it. That's where I feel like most people right now are just like, it's not worth it, dude.
Well,
Doesn't
see,
matter.
and there's
Look at this guy right here.
yeah, and there's
Voting
the
doesn't.
media.
That's what he thinks. Voting doesn't matter, and
No,
I
it
think
doesn't.
I think most people think that, and
Yeah.
they're starting to see that it doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter because it's the same. Both sides are the same people, and you can't allow a third party to come in because the lobbyists, the money won't allow that third party to ever compete.
There you go, dude. You just hit
Right.
it on the head.
Yeah.
The money is the one controlling it. It's not even the candidates. It's the
Yep.
Soroses
Yep.
funding the extremists.
Yeah.
They're the ones that are going to win.
That's why it's a true bread and circus.
All right, we got to get going here. It's getting too dark.
You can vote
Yeah.
for the head or you can vote for the tail, but it's the same dog.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. I do believe that. But anyways, we got to go on. Do you guys got any parting words? We're not going to be back next week. Go, Dave, go ahead.
Time marches on. The only thing that changes is the world is always changing.
The only thing that changes is change itself, dude.
Was that a Beatles song?
No, that's
Was that a haiku?
Tracy Lawrence, man.
Daniel, parting words?
Yeah, man. Just time doesn't exist. So I'll see you tomorrow. We'll be on here tomorrow.
This show is out of control. Out of control, man. All right, guys. Thanks for being here if you're still here. Once again, we'll be back, not next week, but the week after. If you are a member, we will be doing the morning stream here with myself about 9 a.m., maybe a little bit before that. So hope to see you guys there. That is it for today's show. I'm Tyler Zed, and this is Education University.